hard when you gain the understanding of it. The game of Monopoly is a real game.
Yeah.
It's a real fucking game. And when you play Monopoly...
Can you repeat that? I don't know that everybody...
The game of Monopoly is a real game. When you play Monopoly, the goal is to buy up as much property as you can and get people to pay you for that property when they land on it. Rent. That's the fucking real game. So when I look at now my success, I'll tell you, here's something that I do. And this
tell us something that only the IRS knows.
This is something that you guys don't know. Let's say I do a movie, right? That movie is whatever the fuck it is. I make a nice amount of money to do a movie.
Hey, welcome everybody. Great to have everyone here. Thanks for waiting for a few minutes here. We're about 57 seconds late. Today I'm so excited to be spending time with you and your family about wealth creation, about generating new revenues, multiple streams of income, how to invest your money, how to use 7 steps to create the revenue to basically create the lifestyle that you deserve for yourself. I want to welcome our audience on Rumble. Fantastic to have you guys here. We're taking a big stand over there. Also on X, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. Welcome. Great to have you. If you want to see this live and follow some of the notes, go to, what's the live piece where, if they wanted to move off of what they're on to?
GrantCardone.com/live.
GrantCardone.com/live. What you'll get there that you might not get here is some of the notes, my PowerPoint, some of the topics that I'll be discussing, some of the facts, the statistics, and some of the validation and proof that it takes to create wealth in your life. One thing it takes is to understand some financial literacy. Obviously, you're here because you want to create wealth. That's what attracts you to this. You want more income. Why do you want more income? You want a better lifestyle for your family. You want to take care of your parents. Maybe you need to take care of your kids. You want to grow your company. Some of you are here as entrepreneurs. Some of you here are as employees. Some of you here are business owners. Maybe you're a small business, a medium-sized business. You could be a large business. I was just in New York City. I'm with a guy that created every REIT, real estate investment trust, that this country now knows, which is a $3.5 trillion industry. And he's like, Grant, I follow you on Instagram. So wherever you follow me, he's my age, by the way, wherever you follow me from, or if you've not heard about me, if you don't know me, look, 25 years old, I was broke. I had no money. I was actually $40,000 in debt. Debt is, I owed bills from the past. I had very little income. I tarnished my reputation in the marketplace of the little town that I lived in, Lake Charles, Louisiana. I was raised by a single mom. My dad died when I was 10 years old. But the thing that I didn't lose along the way was I was always committed to creating or understanding money and finance and wealth, and the possibility that I could be the person in my household one day to take care of my household. It was never about money. It was never about just the money, the cars, or the house, or it was never about any of that. So what I want to start with today is, because everybody's got a different reason to want to do what they want to do, okay? What I want to do today, before we start, is what do you
take that number, split that number in half. Half of that number,
or X or Instagram, you could actually post this, and I'll see it. Just tag me. What is it you want to get out of today? I'm gonna spend about 90 minutes with you, and in the next 90 minutes, I'm gonna give you every little clue that I have from going negative $40,000. Okay, to today, I have a $5 billion real estate portfolio, 3 companies that are probably worth another $4 billion. Started all these with no money, no credit, no connections, no network, and I started with a bad reputation. So I had to clean all that up. I had to get myself back on track. I had to make a commitment to wealth and to learning about wealth. Why are you here today? What do you want to take away? If there was 3 things that you could take away today, I want you to post in the chat what those 3 things are, okay? Rhonda says, and to welcome to all our VIP members that are in the chat, because that's where I can see you guys. Also, we'll be taking breaks with the VIPs to answer some questions from time to time today. So welcome to all our VIPs.
And if you want to get into the VIP room so that you have an opportunity to participate in the Q&A, if you just go to GrantCardone.com/VIP, grantcardone.com/VIP. You can move into that VIP room and then participate in the Q&A.
Okay, so Rhonda wants to, what to do now. Oops, she went too fast, okay. How to scale. Johnny, slow them down for me, Johnny. It's going so fast I can't read them. Marketing, closing, and expanding or scaling. That's great. That's from Cassie, okay? Emmanuel, how to start, steps needed for financial freedom. I want to be able to provide for my family. Look, family, man. What matters more than family? Almost nothing, okay? Now, how do you take care of them? How do I fund them? How do I make decisions with my family, okay? Welcome to everybody that came today, by the way. We had how many people? 65,000 register? 65,000 people registered for this event. I want to start my own business, possibly an LLC. We'll be discussing some of that today. 3 things that I want to get out. I want to grow my small coffee shop to be a state contractor. Okay, great, easy. I want to grow God's kingdom.
Teresa says,
okay, Moses wants to grow God's kingdom. All right, well, bro, let me tell you, you're going to need some money to do that. You're going to need an audience. You're going to have to drive revenue. You're going to have to get marketing done. You're going to have to scale that. If you want to grow God's kingdom, you got to know how to market, how to get revenue, how to sell, how to close, how to negotiate, how to expand your if it's a church, how to expand your congregation, okay? How to be consistent, how to show up scared, even if you're scared, and how not to fear success. That's awesome.
I got some too.
Go ahead, Jared.
Teresa, getting leads in marketing in 2025. Wayne wants financial security in life. VJ said, how do you make the first 3 steps after feeling like you're at the bottom? Be financially independent from Roxy. Educational, positive vibes and motivation from Belle. Where do I start in Western Australia? Rod wants land ownership, real estate, and crypto. Financial freedom, help my family.
Bennett wants to know how to scale their spray. You do one, I do one. Spray foam business.
Chief, where to start networking.
Okay, now let me just get into this right now. So you guys that came here, you're like, man, I want something and I want it quick. Again, this is completely free. We're doing this for 65,000 people today. We're going to share with you what I use to go from nothing. Okay, that is the concept. By the way, I've used this concept my whole career for 40 years now. I started a business when I was 28 years old, 29 years old, 28, 29, a consulting company. By the time I was 30 years old, I had a partnership with a guy that was consulting auto dealers. We took those 2 businesses. We started buying real estate at the age of 31. I was a millionaire by the time I was 31 years old. We've taken that and expanded it. Our companies now have gone from 0 income, none, 0, not knowing where to go, what to do, how to connect, to this year we'll drive. Last year we did $750 million in revenue with no debt, except on our real estate portfolio, which did or is worth $5.2 billion. We've sold $1.2 billion worth of products over the internet. Anybody can do this, by the way, what I'm telling you. We've raised $1.7 billion from our customer base. I built a 6 million person email list. Some of you get my emails, okay? We have about 20 million people online. What I'm gonna do today is share with you how we did all that. How did I do all this stuff basically with no money? The first what, from 2000, Jared, 2010 until 2000, probably 20?
Yeah.
8 years, we didn't spend any money on ads. None. We didn't have any money. We were just reinvesting the money. So whether you're going from 0 to 100 grand, maybe that's where you're going to start. That's where I had to go. I had to go, how do I go from 0? These are levels, right? How do I go from 0 to 100,000? And then how do I keep some of that money so I can reinvest? How do I go from 100 to $1 million? That's a different game. Oh, by the way, how do I keep that? How do I invest it? How do I then multiply it, okay? Oh, how do I get multiple flows of income so that I can go from $1 million to $10 million? Everybody goes through this. How do I manage the money, manage the expansion, manage the people? How do I manage my taxes? Where do I invest the money so that I don't just flatten out, okay? First note you should take is this, okay? These lines, the line is going to be like this. This is a line that's flat. These are graphs. There's a line that does this. That's really cool because you have growth here, okay? There's this line, which means I'm declining, okay? You want to write this down, okay? You see this flat line here? Most people exist with a flat line. They're not going bankrupt. This is basically an emergency line, but going straight down where maybe my expenses exploded, right? This would all be reversed, but my income was growing and then it went flat. Okay, guess what? All flat lines go lower. So you cannot, a couple notes you want to make. Number one, you cannot manage what you cannot manage or control what you don't measure. You have to measure everything. If you want to create wealth in your life, you must measure with numbers which one of these lines you have. Do you have a straight up line? Okay, straight up line is boom, I'm a rocket ship. Okay, you'll see a stock will do what's called a hockey stick, right? They'll go straight up vertical. But maybe they were flat for years and then they figured out the perfect formula of investing, reinvesting, creating multiple products. This is the same for everybody, whether you're a household, whether you're broke on a street corner, whether you're a household that's doing all right, you got two family members, husband and wife are both working, they're making 300 grand a year combined, and they're spending 300 grand. If you can't measure it, you can't move it, number one. And number two, remember this, all flat lines go lower. So you can't deal with flat lines. This is a decline. This is bankruptcy, basically. If you're not raising the lines, income lines, lowering the expense lines, raising the investment lines, growing the employees, growing the customers, growing everything, the marketing, the attention, all those things have to grow. How do you do that while you're raising two kids, bringing them to school, managing mom and dad, going on a vacation every once in a while, handling Visa, MasterCard, inflation, taxes. Dude, it's complicated, okay? So the first thing you got to do is this, if you're taking notes. And I strongly advise everybody, okay, you need something like this. This is going to go really fast today. Most of you are going to wish you could spend 2 days with me. We're going to give you that opportunity in 3 weeks. We're going to do 2 full days on this. I want to share with you as much as I can in the next 90 minutes. You don't have to pay anything for that. We're so grateful to have you here. I'm so happy to have you here. But for those of you who would like to spend 2 days with me, when you go to grantcardone.com/go, we put together a 2-day event. This is stupid, ridiculous, completely so dumb that you'll like click the button and you'll buy it right now, okay? It's an opportunity for you to spend 2 days with me on this, 2 full days, interactive. I come to your phone. You don't have to travel. No hotels, no travel. You don't have to get away. 3 weeks from now, in 21 days, I'm going to do 2 days in our studio, and I'm going to deliver it to your phone, your tablet, or your computer with a workbook, a complete workbook that you can follow. You get a private coaching session today. This is private for the first 100 people that take advantage of this. This is private mentoring, completely non-disclosure, or what's it called? Exclusive and private, okay? You get to talk to a coach on the phone. We're going to include a money and finance program that's $2,500. I need you to get on that right away today. And then we're going to spend 2 full days with you where we're going over this content and slowing everything down. We're going to be talking about income, revenue, multiple flows of income, how to market, how to get attention. It's phenomenal. We do the whole thing for $297, and I give you a credit at my store for $297. And if you don't like it, I'll give you your $297 back. You give the credit back to me at the store, and you keep the program. It's stupid, okay? If you want to do that, grantcardone.com/go. We're going to give the first 100 people this private coaching call today. Okay, we'll do that with you today on the phone, grantcardone.com/go. Now, for everybody else that you're like, dude, I just want to soak as much information up as I can. I need the timer working, guys. That timer's not working. It says 12:57 again. For those of you who just want to get as much information as you can get right now, just grab a legal pad. I will load you up today with information that will get you on the path to this, and this is what we're doing, okay? No matter what I talk about today, understand that what we're going for is to create wealth. Now, what does that mean to you, okay? You have intention to be here. This is wealth intention. If you don't have what's called wealth intentionality, you will not get wealth. You will not, okay? You might get money. You might win the lottery. Okay, we all know 70% of people that win lotteries end up broke 2 years later. Almost 70% of all NBA ball players, MLB ball players, NFL ball players end up broke just 48 months after they've retired from the game. The income stops, the attention stops. They don't have a value to exchange in the marketplace. Their career's over at 31 or 32 years old, and boom, they go broke. Okay, they bought mama a house, they lose that. They bought themselves a house, they lose that. They bought a couple, 2 or 3 supercars, they lost all that, and they had 3 or 4 years where they had a bunch of wealth, temporary wealth, and boom, it all blew up in their face. Okay, so we don't want that to happen, you guys. If you're committed to wealth, you have to have the intentionality of wealth. And what does wealth mean? If you look up the word wealth, Johnny's going to help me with this and throw it on your screen. I've only looked this up like 5,000 times, but I'm going to look it up again because it's always good to look words up. Wealth defined. It means an abundance. Okay, so we're not talking an amount of money, right? What is wealth? It's an abundance. What would an abundance mean? More than I need. Okay, so people ask me all the time, man, when are you going to have enough? Bro, it's an abundance of valuable possessions or money. It's a state of being, by the way. State of being. And look, if you have a husband that's not on right now, you're married and your husband's not here, bring him into the room and have him watch this. It's only going to be 90 minutes. If you have kids and they're 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old, 6 years old, 7, bring them in here, get them off the YouTube, off of your iPad watching some dumb show or whatever they're watching, and bring them in here and get them acquainted with this data now, okay? State of being rich, okay? What does that mean? What does rich mean? What is the number? So we have to define these things today. It means plentiful, okay? Now, a lot of people have problems with money, okay? But do you have a problem with the idea of abundance? State of being rich? Rich would be what? Rich in health, rich in friends, rich in think, rich in possibility, rich in potential, rich in network. I would have a prosperity. And the word comes from, if you go back and look up, go down, Johnny, what does it say where the word came from? Show more. There you go. It says, right there. That's archaic. Make it a little bigger, Johnny. This word means, by the way, it originally was spelled like this. Isn't that right, Will?
Yeah, the English version, the origin of it.
Yeah, the origin was, the original origin, by the way, that word meant well. So when somebody tells you money's bad and rich people are awful and you know, the guy with the big boat is a terrible person, really? Well, damn, the word means well. It means I am well. And if I am well and I am wealthy, I would have lots of friends, lots of network, lots of adventures, lots of possibility. I would probably have less stress in my life. Okay, I would have less angst, less worry. I wouldn't be worried about my parents. How are they going to retire? What happens if my mom needs to go into a home because she's got dementia? Okay, what happens if I need, you know, one of my kids has a problem in life, which they're probably going to have a problem. How do I fund the problem? Okay, what happens when my company has a problem or taxes get raised? You know, just last year in Canada, they went from a 40% capital gains tax to 67%. That means if you had a house that was worth $5 million and it suddenly became worth $10 million, they're doing this in Australia right now too. Your taxes went from 40% to 67%, which means the tax guy, if you paid $5 million and it went up to $10 million, you would pay taxes of $3.2 million of the $5 million gain. Canada would make more money on the deal than you made on the deal. Now check this out. That's called capital gains tax. In Australia, they want to pass a law on unrealized capital gains. Meaning, okay, remember in the last example, you had a house for $5 million or $1 million or whatever, and then you sold it for $10 million, you made $9 million. Then they tax you when you sell it. Australia wants to pass a law where you pay taxes even when you didn't sell it, which means you would own, if it went from 1 to 10, you would have to pay taxes even though you didn't sell the house. And if you didn't sell the house, you don't have any money. You would owe capital gains tax on something you didn't even sell, which means that asset now becomes a liability, okay? So when you're creating wealth, what do you need to know about wealth? Well, one, I need to know what is the target, okay? And at some point, I got to get some financial literacy, okay? What is an asset? What is a liability, okay? What is debt? What is good debt? What is an investment? I mean, these are just a few of the terms, right? But you have to have, number one, a commitment to a target. Until you have the target, these things don't matter. We're going to share with you 7 steps that I've used in my career to go from 0 to where I'm at today. You guys get to pick how much of this you want. What's your number, okay? Okay, so real quick, let's just do a little exercise right here, okay? Target, okay? This is a little simple exercise. Without knowing anything, I want you to come up with target on income, target on net worth. By the way, the net worth is all assets less liabilities. What's left over? So if I have $1 billion worth of assets and $1 billion worth of debt, it's 0 net worth. If I have $1 billion worth of assets and I have $2 billion worth of debt, I'm negative $1 billion. Okay? So I want you to do 3 things. 1, 2, 3. And the third one is income, net worth. And then I want to know what you personally need to spend a year to be the happiest person you think you could be. Okay? Okay, 3 things you're going to write today. Okay, this is what is the revenue, what is the income or the revenue? This is where everything starts. Today we're going to be talking about the 7-step revenue formula, how to increase that, because if you can't increase that, you can't increase these. Okay, if your income doesn't go up, everybody agree? You can't create a net worth, and you can't increase your expenditures. So 3 things you're going to write down right now. And number 1, how much income, how much net worth, and how much expenditure. And then let me see those in the chat. I want you to post them up. Okay? So Marley wants $1 million a year in income, net worth of $5 million, and a spend rate of $350 a year. That's excellent.
Very good. Specific,
that's a target, very specific target. Okay? Tim Nash, $100,000 per month minimum. That's only one thing though. Okay, if you make $100,000 a month and you spend $200,000 a month, boom, you don't have a target here. You're like, you guys are you're going to get your income target. You're still going to be negative and you're going to hate money. Okay, target income from Amanda. The women always think bigger than the men. Target income, $2 million. Target net worth, $10 million. And she wants to only spend $200,000. Okay, so Amanda, watch this. What is their target again, Jared?
Target is $2 million. Target income $2 million. Target net worth $10 million. $10
million. Okay, but she only wants to spend $200,000 a year. Well, that's only $18,333 a month, which is fine, but it's only 10% of her total gross income. So
which will feed investment and growth and wealth building faster if you can keep your like one of the things Grant did really well, like for years, like this guy's I've been with him for 15 years. He's been making millions of dollars a year since before I even started working with him. And this guy did not change his lifestyle for the first, what do you think, the first 20 years you were making money?
At least 20 years. I didn't have a...
You drove a Toyota Camry.
Yeah, I drove a Toyota Camry. I didn't have a BMW. I didn't have a Rolex watch. I didn't have this watch on. I wasn't buying any of that stuff. I had a formula I'm like, no, I'm going to pay the price. I'm going to do what she's doing. I'm going to live off of almost nothing, and I'm going to drive these two things up. Well, why drive all that up if it's not going to change your lifestyle? Well, in the beginning, folks, you can't change your lifestyle immediately. It's not real, okay? I have a saying, pay the price today. By the way, today could be for years. So you can pay any price in the future. Now, I don't know what that means to you, but if you're 50 years old, you should be thinking about how you're going to spend money when you're 72, not how you're going to spend money this month or even this year. You should have a plan to get rich for sure. Take notes, write this down. Okay, I've lived off of many of these sayings for many years, okay? Get rich for sure.
Not quick.
Okay, you don't get rich quick, get rich for sure, which means you're gonna avoid a bunch of the get rich quick schemes. What I'm sharing with you today, I'm gonna share with you people that literally 10x their net worth in a period of 18 months. They were not trying to get rich quick. They had targets, specific targets. And all targets, okay, start from zero. Everybody that is watching right now is at a zero. So somebody in here is like, man, I have no money, I have no income, I have no career, I don't know where I'm at, I don't know. Bro, where you are does not matter. Then there's a guy watching right now that's got $10 million in net worth, $1 million worth of income a year, okay? And he's like, he needs to put himself at zero. Where you are today is always a zero. I'm at a zero today. Jared's at a zero today. The homeless guy out there is at a zero. He gets $100, and guess what? He thinks he's in affluence. No, he's at a zero. And the reason the ball player gets a $3 million contract, takes the $3 million contracts and acts like he's at $3 million, he should act and operate like he's at zero. See, what he does is he gets $3 million. You get a score. And he thinks he's suddenly rich. He got rich quick, and watch how fast he goes back to zero. Because he doesn't manage the target. See, the target was never, or maybe it was, the target was maybe, I'm gonna get a $3 million contract, and I'm gonna buy cars and houses and take care of mama. And that's what he does. He buys 2 cars, a house, buys a house for mama, and he's back to zero. He shouldn't have done that. He should have invested this money and gone to zero and started over again and gone out and got $3 million worth of endorsements. Taken $3 million of endorsements, invested that, and back to zero. Okay, guess what he's got now? The way I'm doing it, I enforce a zero on myself. I always start at zero, and now I'd have $6 million fully invested. Oops, $6 million. Now my mom's gonna be pissed off at me. Where's my house, boy? You ain't getting one yet. Your house, mom, and my cars and my house are going to come when I create wealth, not income. This is income, okay? You use income, you're taking notes, use income to make investments. Man, I could do this for...
I know.
I could do this for 10 hours without stopping. Use income to make investments. And use investments to fund your lifestyle. Okay? This is one of my, what's it called, a
wealthism?
Non-negotiables.
Non-negotiable.
My household does not use income. We do not use money in to buy stuff, okay? We use money to make investments. So I'm going to use money to make the investments. So if I have $10 million come in, $1 million, 100,000, 10,000, whatever the number is, the money moves to the investment. I've been doing this since I was 25 years old. Money comes in, I sell something, I get a commission, I take the commission money and I invest in something. I don't spend my income, okay? I spend my investments income. I use my investment that produces income, drips of income, to fund my lifestyle. This is lifestyle right here. Okay, well, when's my life going to get better? It's not going to get better until I have investments. I need that other thing.
Okay.
What worked?
Yeah.
I need my investments, okay? So what I'm going to be doing all the time, it's going to look like this, okay? My income is going to go up. As my income goes up, basically what I do is I go to 0 on my savings, but I'm buying investments along the way. We'll talk about what kind of investments. There's only a couple of investments you should be investing in. So I'm always going to be broke. I'll be 0 in savings, and I'll be getting rich here, and nobody's going to know it. Okay, my income's going to go up. I'm going to move that money over here, and I'm going to have 0 in an account. What about my emergency account? I don't have emergencies account. I have emergency investments that take care of me 3 years from now, 30 years from now, that take care of me when I die. Literally, that I can move the investments over, okay? I can take an investment, I can take money in, income, revenue, 7-step revenue process is what we're going to be sharing with you, a formula, okay? All people that created wealth had a formula. In fact, there's some data that 78% of all millionaires had a wealth plan.
84.
84%, that is almost 100%. 22, what is it?
22.
22% of all of America has no plan at all. Okay, well, guess what? 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. 50% have no money for retirement. 50% don't have $500 in a savings account. Guess what, folks? Most of America, one of the richest countries in the world, they don't have anything. You got to go to Monaco or Dubai to see rich people. It's a shame. Now, we have more millionaires in this country. You can make $1 million in this country very easily. In fact, you have a better chance of being a millionaire in America than you do of having abs. Okay, about 7 times more likely to be a millionaire in America, most of which are first generation. Okay, there's 32 million millionaires in America. Many of them, by the way, will never create wealth. They will not create wealth. I want you guys to know this. The income is not the target. So we want a wealth target, okay? It starts with a target. What is your target? And some of you wrote this down. If you're just getting here, welcome. Great to have you here. The numbers just spiked for some reason. People got here late, right?
Yeah, you know, and the thing is what
let me just do this target thing. So everybody that got here, what we're doing is we're looking at 3 targets today. Number 1 is your income. Number 2 is your net worth. And number 3, and I want everybody to write this down. Number 3, what are you spending a year in your household, not in your company yet, okay? If you have a company, that's a different thing. We're gonna have to get in there into your operations, figure out what you're gonna spend on marketing, employees, operations, taxes, investments, CapEx. It's a little more intricate, but it's gonna follow the same formula. If we get your formula right, we have your target right, you're at 0 right now. Everybody starts at 0. You start at 0 today. What's your new income target? If you're making $1 million a year, what's your new income target? Wealth is to go somewhere where there's abundance, prosperity, affluence, plentiful. Okay, you're rich in all things: time, energy, money, health, people, network. You got time for kids. You got time for family. Like, wouldn't that be unbelievable? Okay, that's what we're creating today. Okay, so what's this income number? You got to fill it in. What's your net worth number? Do you even know what's possible? Or maybe you're limited. You know, Jared, when you came here 15 years ago, what would these have been for you 15 years ago?
Probably $2 million of net worth, 200 grand in income, and I was spending, $3 grand a month.
Okay, and he's spending $36,000 a month or a year.
Yeah.
Okay, so why was he thinking like that? Those are big, right? Those are big. What are you at today?
Income is $2 million a year, net worth is $15 million, and spend is probably.
This is what?
50 grand a month.
What did you actualize?
2 million income, 15 million net worth.
Okay, so that's 7x. That's 10x. And what do you spend?
50 grand a month.
Okay, but and notice how close he is to that number. That didn't go up.
Yeah.
Okay, a little
That
higher
was
than
36 grand a year. I had no money. I was broke. I was making 2,500 bucks a month.
Yeah, what are you spending now?
50 grand a month.
Oh, he's spending
Five.
He's
yeah.
spending a 15x. So notice what happened. Okay, this is 15 years ago. By the way, how many of you would be willing to invest 15 years? He was, how old were you? 30?
27.
27.
Yeah.
27. 42 years old now. Hey man, I need to make 200 grand. What were you making? Actually,
$2,500 a month.
he was making 30,000. His goal was 200 grand. He's like, I don't know how to do that. Well, you got to make a commitment. You got to have a target to doing that. He targeted 200 grand. He's like, I want to be worth $2 million. We're 7 times that. Okay. And he doesn't spend $36,000 a year. He's spending, what do you spend a year?
50 grand a month.
He's spending 50 grand a month. He's spending more money a month than he was making a year.
But I also have 25 grand a month in passive income. So half my expenses
Okay.
are covered by passive income.
Okay, which brings us to another thing. Of his income, remember his goal was 200 grand a year. And how does it break up now? He's got earned income, that's one, and passive income is the other.
Yep.
See now, when you guys are on the phone with the coach, those that you want to take advantage of the coach, we already had almost 100 people already book a private session with the coach. If you want to do that, grantcardone.com/go. It's $297. You get the 7-figure coaching calls for the next 3 weeks. We do that every week. You get the $2,500 money and finance course, a strategy call with a guy today. I'm going to run out of these. I will not be able to do this forever. And you get the networking group for 3 weeks, actually
Yep.
for the next
3 weeks, yeah.
3 weeks.
Until the
And I'm going to do a 2-day event in 3 weeks, delivered to your phone, your tablet, or your computer. We're going to do 2 full days. What date is that?
June 28th and 29th.
28th and 29th, I'm going to come back in this studio. We have this interactive thing set up, which is phenomenal, where I can actually interact with each of you on your plan, your goals, your dreams, and what is preventing you from to even think bigger. Remember when Jared did this? Jared wasn't even thinking big compared to where he got. What is that about? That's about some limitation on mindset, some limitation that says 200 grand's reasonable. What do you make? What do you make now?
2 million.
He makes 2 million. Okay. What's super cool about it is how much of your 2 million a year? That's what he makes now. He got on the Get Rich for Sure program, not the Get Rich Quick. How much of that is earned income?
Probably 1.7 million.
1.7 million is earned income. How much of it is passive?
300 grand.
$300,000, 25 grand a month. By the way, this takes care of all of his expenses. All of his expenses, almost all of his expenses are taken care of out of passive income. Passive income, what? Goes up for how long? As long as he's invested, it's infinite. He could die Monday and he would still be paid his passive income. He'll quit earning earned income. This is what you guys all want to get. You want to get multiple flows of income. The average millionaire has 7 flows. The average billionaire has 700 flows. Okay? How could you have 700 flows? Well, I have Cardone Ventures, 10X Health,
Cardone Capital.
Cardone Capital,
CTTI.
CTTI is a company. This thing has, how many products they have at Cardone Ventures? I mean.
Yeah, there's probably 8.
Yeah, 8 to 10.
Eight businesses,
Yeah.
underneath it, yeah.
These are businesses producing income. 10X Health has how many products?
Products is
40?
Yeah.
Okay, and growing. Okay, Cardone Capital has
15,000.
45 properties and 14,200 units and a bunch of unbelievable potential right now. How many products do we have here? Boot camps, workshops.
Hundreds.
Okay, there's hundreds of products. So I got 14,000 income streams here. I have 10 income streams here, 40 right here. Hundreds coming through our educational process. You're like, man, that's a lot of work. Shit, it's not as much work today as it was being broke. Yeah, you guys are like, oh God, it sounds like a lot of work. Bro, let me tell you something. If you've been broke, you can be rich. It takes less work to be rich and stay rich it still takes work than it does to be broke. And for those of you, the only thing worse than being broke is being woke. Okay, the only thing worse than being broke is being in the middle. You're not broke, but you're not rich. Because now you're juggling everything all the time. You're juggling getting to work, going home, going to see your mother, okay? Taking care of the kids, getting them to school, getting them to college, managing the tax man. It's so much work. You don't know it's work. You don't know it's work because you're used to being on that hamster wheel over and over, okay? This is what makes it almost impossible. Consider you on $100,000 a year and you live in New York or California. $40,000 is for state tax, for income taxes, IRS. Oops. Okay, $10,000, no, $13,000 in California. $13,000 is going to state taxes. You haven't bought anything yet, by the way. Okay, you have $47,000 left over. Your property's taxed. When you spend money, it's taxed. When you give money away, it's taxed. If you die, it's taxed. And then you're like, why can't I get ahead? How do you expect to get ahead when you only have $47,000 left over at the end of the year and you only have $3,800 to live and the rents are $2,000 where you live? And the rent is $2,000 and the mortgage is $3,200. And you haven't paid for the car yet, the insurance yet, going to dinner yet, haven't taken care of your mother or your mother-in-law. Mother-in-laws, by the way, always cost more money than mothers because you resent paying for the mother-in-law more than you do your own mother. At least she had you. You understand what I'm saying? It's a problem, okay? Because you guys don't have the right targets, okay? I did not have the right target when I was a kid. Grew up in a middle-class family, raised by a single mom. Nobody talked about targets. What did they talk about? Reduce your expenses, reduce your expenses, reduce your expenses. If you're taking notes, write this down, okay? You have income, what we call revenue. Okay, I want you to compare your income to your expenses. Which one has the most room to grow, okay? How high can you grow your income compared to how low can you get your expenses? Because income is money coming in, expenses is money going out. So you want to measure one about how high can it go. In the notes, just throw it down. I love my mother-in-law, by the way, but not as much as my mother. Period. Okay? So, and how low can you get your expenses? Okay? You can only get your expenses to zero. Your income, there is no limit on your income. Now, most of you were trained, and Jared was, and I was, and I'll bet most of my staff was, they were given more education on what to spend or how little to spend or how to spend less than they were on how to create more income, okay? I want you guys to write this down. In your education, if you're 50 years old, I'm 67 years old, if you're 50 years old, 25 years old, 17 years old, what percent of your time was your education? If the only two things you were educated on, let's just pretend the only two things you were educated on was one was revenue and the other was expenses, and they equal 100%. These two, that's the only thing you were taught your whole life. Forget the science class, the algebra class, trigonometry, history, the home ec class, okay? Johnny's in there looking at cameras. Johnny spent a lot of time on cameras and videos and recordings and all this other stuff. Forget everything else you learned. The only two things you learned was revenue, how to get revenue, and how to spend money on expenses. What percentage of your time did your parents educate you on these two things, okay? Mine would be this. 100% of the time I was trained how to reduce my expenses. Not one time did anybody teach me how to get new income. Okay, now Jimmy says 90% expenses, 5% on revenue. It should be completely reversed, by the way. There's Jimmy, 95 expenses, 5% on revenue. I had to earn it myself outside of school. 0% on revenue. This is from Christina. Erica, 100% of my time, my education would have been on expenses only. 0 on revenue, says Jerome. Look how many people in here. Same here. Truth. 100% on expenses. Then you guys wonder, why don't I have any money? Your entire educational process was on reducing expenses, not driving revenue. So remember this. How high can you get your revenue? Infinite. You can get it as much as you can imagine, as hard as you want to work, or, by the way, how smart you want to work, will determine how much income you can have. Your income will then determine, you're taking notes, this is great, man. We're gonna package this whole video, this thing we're doing right now, we're gonna put the whole thing in a package, cut it, edit it. Okay, this is gonna be phenomenal, okay? Your income, the purpose for income is to buy assets that produce more income that allow you to live life, okay? It does not go income, live. Okay, you guys, this is what you guys do. You take income and you spend money on living. You don't want to do that. You want to divert your income. You want to divert your income to assets that produce passive income. And the passive income is what you live on. Okay, make a note here. Never spend what you earned. Okay, I'm going to take 100% of my income, as close to 100% as possible. I'm going to invest it in assets. What kind of assets? Anything that won't go to zero. And number one, anything that won't go to zero. And number two, anything that will produce passive income for long periods of time. This passive income is how I buy my cars, take care of my rent, feed the kids. Okay, now look, understand that when I'm talking to you guys today, I'm just telling you what I did to create wealth for myself and my family. From zero, with no connections, no country clubs. I'm not a Trump. My daddy didn't give me money. I didn't get lucky. I couldn't marry it. I didn't inherit it. Like there's only a handful of ways to make money, okay? All successful activities require a formula. Every activity that for a successful activity to hit a target, you need a formula. 1 + 1 = 2. That's a formula. A times B equals AB. That's a formula, okay? This is a formula. 100% of my income is going to invest in assets. The assets are going to buy income. Okay, how much income do I need to buy assets to produce enough passive income to take care of me and the family? There's only 5 ways to create wealth. If you're taking notes, write this down. You'll see this on my screen. Show it to them, Johnny. 1 is you can inherit it. This should be much bigger, by the way, the inherit, okay? Because, number one, it looked good on the computer though. Number 1, inherit. It means you're going to win money, okay? Most of you can just put an X on that. Now, some of you should be paying attention to number 1. Let me just look something up for you real quick. Wealth transfer. What are we in? What year are we in? By 2050. By 2050.
79% of the millionaires in the U.S. did not make their money from inheritance.
Yeah, did not.
Yeah, 20 to 25% of millionaires have received an inheritance.
Okay. Now, this is cool. Now, you guys did not receive an inheritance, but understand in the next 25 years, $105 trillion is going to be transferred. Tell me when I have enough.
1, 2.
That's 100. That's billion.
4 commas. It's 4 commas. 4 commas. Yeah.
Yeah, 4 commas. $105 trillion.
No, I'm sorry. 5 commas. 4 commas would be $1 billion.
That's million. That's billion. That's 105 trillion.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's $105 trillion. Trillion will be transferred in the next 25 years. So while you guys didn't inherit any money, there's about to be a whole bunch of people inherit a bunch of money. 78% of all women, if you're a woman in the room, can you put a big W? Put a big W in the chat if you're a woman. Look at the women coming in now. 78%, 78 to 83%, depending on what part of the country you live in. All your money is in cash. That's a problem, ladies, okay? Now, you either don't trust the men on Wall Street to invest your money, or you don't trust yourself. Okay, women, ladies, you're going to get most of this money. This $105 trillion is going to go to you first, and then it's going to go to your kids. 80% of women keep their money in cash. Now, why? Why is that? You either don't trust yourself, or you don't trust the man, because most of Wall Street and banks is controlled by men. So you either don't trust yourself, or you don't trust the guy. Okay, money and trust have a lot to do with one another. You need to learn to trust yourself. Now, if you don't know what to invest in, you're not going to trust yourself, then you got to trust somebody else. And if you don't trust them, then you're not going to do anything, and you end up sitting on cash. Remember this about cash. Cash is
king.
That's what they always say. Cash is king. Cash is not king. That's a lie. Cash is trash. In my lifetime, cash has lost 91% of its value. I'm simplifying everything for you guys, okay? For all of you that want to call in and take advantage of this, if you're like 50 minutes, we've been here. 50 minutes. Most of you probably feel like you already got your money's worth because you paid nothing. You shouldn't have got your money's worth. You should be thinking like a billionaire right now. Right now, you should be thinking like you should be expanded, extended, possibility, wealth, prosperity, affluence, abundance, plentiful. You should be thinking bigger already. Like right now, you should be having some spiritual experience about money. Like, okay, dude, I want to get mine. There's infinite amounts of money on this planet. Okay, so if cash is losing value, okay, actually it doesn't lose value. You understand, $100. This $10 is always going to say $10 on it. It's never not going to say $10. They're going to print it again in 25 years. It's going to say 10 if they're still printing these. There's a real good chance they just won't print these anymore. Yeah. They might just make it go away and say, no, that's what it's worth. Okay, no, not that one. I need that one. And that one gets me $10 worth of services or products, okay? That's what happens with inflation. In fact, in my lifetime, $100 still says 100. The value of it didn't go down. What it buys went down. It only buys $10 worth of products and services. This is how inflation works. This value, this price stays the same, but the cost of everything it buys goes up 10 times. Bruh. That's what's happened, okay? The price of the home, the car, the horse, the lesson, the education, it's still $100, okay? $100 is $100, but whatever it was buying in 1958 now costs $1,000. That's how you deflate money. That's how they trick you. This is the most expensive tax in the world. There's income tax, state tax, and then there's inflation. This is the invisible tax. This is the destruction of money's buying power. Now, ladies, I'm back to the ladies again. 80% of you guys are sitting with your dough with a bank in a money market or a savings account or a checking account, and you're like, my money's safe. No, it's not. The graph on this money is like that. Okay, that is the graph since 1958 on money. It would have been better invested in the S&P 500 or in gold or in silver or almost anything. Okay, would have been better than that. You could have taken all this money and bought real estate. At least the real estate went up in value. Remember the graphs? Remember the graphs? Flat line. Okay, this is my growth line. This is my flat line. This is my decline line. Okay, what's your money doing? If it's not going up or if it's flat, it's going to go lower and you won't hit your targets. Okay, now, if you're diversifying your investments, you inherited a bunch of money and you're like, I'm going to diversify. It's not what wealthy people do. So there's 5 ways to create wealth, 5 different ways, and there's only 5 ways. Number 2, you can marry it. Brilliant, by the way, okay? Super strategy, brilliant strategy. Find some rich guy or some rich gal and hook up, okay? Instant score. No taxes, by the way. When you get married, you do not get taxed.
I was dating a girl one time, just so you guys know this is validated. This was, I don't know, 12 years ago. And I was dating this girl that was very wealthy, and Grant said, hey, just remember, you can marry more money in a day than most people make in their lifetime.
Oh, yeah, you can. You can marry more. My wife did. My wife married more money in one day than she could make as an actress in 10 lifetimes.
Damn, son.
Okay? Highly recommended, by the way. Nothing wrong with it. I don't even know why people have a problem with it, okay? You could marry a broke person. You could marry a plumber that's going to make $120,000 or $150,000 a year, and it costs $150,000 a year. You're going to have problems in your marriage, whether the guy's rich, broke, or just getting by. You're still going to have problems in your marriage. No one has ever been married for any length of time that didn't have problems in their marriage. Number 3, you could get lucky. Okay, you could get lucky. Okay, like my kids. My kids got lucky. Okay. Okay, they married into a great household. But the problem with luck is what?
Can't repeat it.
You can't repeat it. You have no control over it. It doesn't build confidence. Okay? Until you do something yourself, you build confidence. My daughter's on a competence and leadership workshop for the next 2 weeks, where she's going to be in charge of taking care of an engine room on a ship. And she's terrified this morning. She's like, oh my God, I'm so scared. I'm like, everybody doing this is scared. And the reason you're scared is because you've never done this before. See, luck, you want to make a note, luck only comes with fear, because luck does not build confidence. Number 4 thing you can do is work to create wealth. Very few people ever create real wealth working, by the way. And the 5th way, and really the only way, is to invest. That's really the only way to actually create real wealth. So you want to circle number 5, because the number 5 is repeatable. The problem with number 5 is this: it requires income, financial intelligence, hustle, targets, networking. Like, you got to do a lot to get it, to keep it, and to multiply it, okay? This is the simplicity of money, by the way. And I want to make sure in our toolbox, Sherry, if Sherry's listening, I want to make sure the Millionaire booklet goes out with our toolbox for everybody that already took advantage at grantcardone.com/go. grantcardone.com/go. You're going to get this 10X planner, 10X wealth planner. You're going to get the 10X rule book. You're going to get some stickers to remind you about what you're doing for the next 3 weeks. I'm going to get you the Millionaire booklet. And how many of the wealth creation books do we have? The green books. Let me see, Greg.
I think the easy. We'll give it to him in a PDF.
Let me see it.
Yeah.
Let me see the book. I need to see the green book.
The easiest thing would be the PDF, I think.
The wealth creation book. No, we're going to put it in the toolbox. Okay, we're going to put it in the toolbox. Okay, we're going to get the first 100 people that take advantage of the offer today. You're going to get the 10X rule. This is a mind bender right here. Okay, this is it'll literally a mind breaker. It's going to break the way you think about your goals and targets. Okay, and then the wealth creation book. Okay, the mistakes people are making. This is all about money myths that prevent people from number 5. Okay, because on number 5, and this is at grantcardone.com/go. I get so excited doing this, by the way, folks. Like, I love doing this with you guys. I can't thank you enough for giving me your time, trusting me with your time. And for those of you who want to come in to grantcardone.com/go, and you're willing to spend another 2 days with me in 3 weeks, and let one of our coaches have a exclusive strategy call with you today, because you're like, dude, I'm done being broke. I'm done just getting by. I'm done waiting for an inheritance or to marry it or to get lucky. And I'm done just working over and over and over again. I'm ready to freaking hit it, to control my wealth, to get my part, my piece of whatever infinite amount of abundance there is in the universe. You guys all deserve to have yours. So thank you for being here. Everybody that's already taken advantage at grantcardone.com/go. If you're in the United States, we'll ship this out Monday. So it'll go out Monday. You'll get the 10X rule, the wealth creation book, the 10X notebook, a 10X hat, a water bottle, and you're going to get the call today, 2 days with me in 3 weeks, and we're going to put you in a mentoring group for the next 3 weeks to keep you on track. In addition to that, I'm going to give you the money and finance course. That's $2,500 on our website. We're going to give you that because that's what we want you to start on today. Can they see that shot? I'm pointing to it, but I don't know if they can see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Money and Finance course is 3 hours long on much of the information that I'm talking about right now, like this, okay? If number 5 is the only way you can create wealth, and by the way, let me just simplify money to you. There's 3 things you have to learn about money, and really only 3 things. How do I get it? And the beauty of what I do, folks, whether it's in real estate sales, marketing, whether it's networking, dude, I'm from the bayous of Louisiana. Everything for me is simple. Okay? Everything for me is very, very simple. As simple and as fast as we can get there. Number 1, all you have to do is get money. You do not work or make money. Okay? You get money. Now, you might think that that's not important, but money is about getting it, and money is always about a who, not about a what. Some of you are missing some of this. We'll spend 2 days with you in 3 weeks going into detail on some of these things. Money is never about what. How many times have I told you that in 15 years? Never.
Thousands,
it's never about
yeah.
what. It's never about how. It's about who. Okay, if you're marketing, if you're a coach online, or you want to build an audience online, you want to sell products online, it's always about the who, not the how, and never the what. Okay? If you guys would spend more time on the who, you'd make 10 times more money immediately. Number 2, get it? How do you keep it? Now, you ladies, you get $1 trillion and you put it at the bank, you're not keeping that money. That money's going to go down. It's going to lose 90% of its value in the next 30 years, maybe faster. As they print money, you're going to lose money, okay? And number 3, how do you invest it? Or in this case, how do you multiply it? So we just want to do things that are very simple in very simple terms, okay? Notice the terms. Get it. How do I keep it? Where do I keep it? Who keeps it for me until I'm ready to multiply it? And we always think about terms of how do I 10x what I have. If you're making 100, our next level is always $1 million. If you're making $1 million, our next level is 10 million. We're just using your 0 and adding a 1. Okay? How do I 10x where I'm going today? Okay? How do I go to the next level? Could be friends. I have one great friend. Good. How do I get 10 of those? I've written 1 book. How do I write 10 of them and expand my audience? I have 100 customers, 10x that. How do I have 1,000 customers? They could be paying me less. I could be serving more people, and I would end up with more wealth. Okay? Not just in terms of money, by the way, but in terms of expansion, confidence, people that could help me and help my kids. Okay? All right. Formula for creating wealth. What is the formula? The first part of the formula is you got to commit to it. Now, I'm fortunate enough today, unlike when I was growing up, today I have a lot of friends that are very, very wealthy. In the past week, I added to that network. I met Art Falcone this week. He's one of the wealthiest guys in Fort Lauderdale, okay? He's worth, I don't know, $2 or $3 billion. He's done $20 billion worth of real estate deals. I just met him in the last, 4 days ago?
Yeah.
Okay, Jordan Zimmerman lives right up the street. Jordan's probably worth $1 billion, probably going to $3 billion this year. I have a friend down in Miami. He's worth $14 billion. All 3 of these people have a commitment to wealth creation. Cindy Stumpo, my friend, that came down for this wealth conference that we did. We did a 2-day wealth conference. I'm interviewing all these very wealthy people. I don't know if you have any video of that, Johnny, of these people from that deal. Probably don't have it yet. Cindy Stumpo is worth hundreds of millions of dollars building single-family homes, has been. So I invite her down from Boston. She comes down. We spend time together, and we come up with smart ways. My friend Howard Dvorkin. What do you think Howard's worth? Couple hundred million?
Yeah, at least 500 million. Yeah.
3 or 4, 500 million. I have every one of these people committed to the W, okay? Now, you've been here now an hour and 4 minutes. How many of you are committed to the W? You got a commitment to wealth. Let me see a big W if you're committed to the W. Jason is, okay? Lisa is. Great, great. You guys are committed, okay? Now, do you know what that means? To be committed means you have a target, a specific target. Okay, target to what? Income, net worth, expenditures. Those three things are going to control where you get. How much am I earning? How much am I investing? How much am I spending? Okay, I want to reduce my spending, increase my income. Number two here, I need actual targets, which is what we started with today. I need an actual target on 3 items at least, 3 items to start. Now, I'm keeping everything very, very simple today. We're going to expand that list in 3 weeks to more than just income. We're going to start talking about passive income, multiple flows of income. We're going to talk about income from different sources that reduce your tax bill, okay? What's the fastest way remember, I want to drive my expenditures down. I want to create more money for me to invest in assets, actual targets, income, expenditures, asset building, okay? So if I could reduce my heaviest expenses, I would have more money left over to make investments, okay? Who knows what their biggest expenditure is? What's your biggest expenditure in your household? TJ says the house, rent, paint, no, mortgage, materials, mortgage. Go back. And there it is. First time I saw the right answer. Go down. There it is. Raphael says taxes. That's right. Taxes are your biggest expenditure. No one pays attention to it. The wealthy people do, though. Art, Cindy Stumpo, Howard Dvorkin, my friend Bob Duggan, me. Bro, I want to reduce my tax bill. How do I reduce my tax bill? You reduce your tax bill by taking earned income, moving it to assets, and living off the passive income, not the earned income, okay? So you need actual targets to wealth, okay? Now those targets, when I have a target, let's say I shoot a target 30 feet away, okay? I go load up another arrow, I'm about to shoot again. Do I need to put my attention back on that target again? Of course. Okay, I'm throwing a football. The last one was 20 yards away. Boom, I do a route out, okay? I'm gonna hit, boom, over here, but it's 32 yards away. It's a new target. So these targets have to be recalibrated constantly. That's why I give you guys this book, okay? Targets are like 80% of this game. What is the target and who can help me accomplish the target? I'm writing stuff down constantly about my targets. Number 3, I need financial literacy. Now make a note on number 3. They don't have this. They don't have these notes, right?
No.
Okay, financial literacy. You can just write this down. Again, for those of you who are going to be spending time with this in 3 weeks, I'm gonna provide you with a workbook so you can follow along easily, and then we're gonna go deep on each of these points. Financial literacy requires you to become unindoctrinated. Okay, because most of you have been indoctrinated. I'd say all of you, but there's exceptions to every rule. I'll say it anyway. All of us have been financially indoctrinated. You guys on Rumble, X, and TikTok, and Instagram, and right here on YouTube, watching right now, you have been indoctrinated not to be illiterate. You have been indoctrinated to spend money a certain way. Should I go into it right now? Mm-hmm. Okay. You've been indoctrinated to save money. That only benefited the banks. This is indoctrination, not financial literacy. You were indoctrinated. You were indoct to save money. It only benefited Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Merrill Lynch, Vanguard. These are trillion-dollar companies, by the way. You save money, they benefit. Banks benefit, you don't. Okay, now you need a place to store money. Banks are a safe place to store money so that you can get ready to invest. But this is where money goes to die, basically, okay? In fact, they don't even save it. What do banks do? You save it with the bank, and the bank sends it to me so I can invest it in something else, okay? A, B, to buy houses. That was an indoctrination program. I'm going to buy a house. It's an asset. It's not an asset. It's a liability. It's one of your biggest expenditures. It's an endless expenditure. You never actually own it. It is a liability. It should not be on your personal financial statement. Okay? Now, if you had 16 homes and they were all paid for, one of them would be a liability. Actually, all 16 of them would be a liability. All of them have property taxes. All of them probably have mortgages. All of them have caretakers and expenses and property taxes and maintenance and roofs and plumbing and insurance. All homes are liabilities unless you have somebody in there paying the rent, paying the insurance, paying the taxes, paying the HOA, paying the maintenance, paying the upkeep, paying the property taxes, and paying the mortgage. Those are expenses, okay? College, total, absolute indoctrination. Those are three. Here's the fourth one. IRAs, 401ks, and Roth programs. These were indoctrination programs of 350 million people to move their money to the pension fund or to the Vanguard or to the S&P 500. Okay, I'm just telling you guys, okay? I'm inviting you to get unindoctrinated. To have financial literacy, you have to wipe the slate clean. For me to write on this board, I have to wipe it clean, okay? For me to add something new, I have to clean the board up or I got to go to a new page. Okay? For you to get new information in your mind, we have to kind of wipe off or confront what has you trapped. Give me the stats on the middle class, Jared. 250 million people in America. Give me all the negative financial stats. Okay, they're so terrible, it's unbelievable. Forget that the country's $36 trillion in debt, okay? And another $200 trillion of other obligations. Like almost $300 trillion in obligations just in one country.
Top 1% own the majority of the wealth.
Top 1% own how much?
The majority. It's
almost all.
Yeah.
Everything.
Middle class households.
So the point is, who do you want to be? You want to be the rest of America or you want to be this guy? The rest of America?
Middle class households experience slower wealth growth compared to the affluent.
Give me numbers, bro. I need big numbers right now.
I'm trying to find it right now.
50% don't have any savings accounts. 50% can't plan for retirement. 50% don't have $500. Okay? 50% of the people in this country can't handle an emergency.
63% are paycheck to paycheck. Nearly half of six-figure earners live paycheck to paycheck.
Half of the people that make $100,000 a year live paycheck to paycheck. Okay, 60% of millionaires are paycheck to paycheck. Okay, 11% of all millionaires in America rent. They don't own. Well, they're actually pretty smart people. Or they can't afford to own because the price of houses went up so much. Well, Grant, didn't you just say a home is a liability? Yes, it is a liability, okay? It just so happens a bunch of these houses went up in value, but somebody still has to support the expenses of it, okay? So to get financial literacy, if you get any more numbers, let me know.
Yeah, I got it. 50% couldn't cover a $1,000 emergency expense. Middle class wealth has declined 20% since 1980. Home affordability is at a 40-year low, and retirement savings are dangerously low, just $89,000, which would generate only $300 a month in retirement.
Yeah. So this is a problem, right? Now, what are you going to do about it? You can't change the whole country. Elon went into Doge to try to fix it. That was a disaster. Trump's going to do whatever Trump's going to do. At the end of the day, bro, Trump's going to be out of here in 3 years. Somebody else is going to come in. They're not going to fix it either. Everybody knows that. You're the only one that can fix this, okay? We're inviting you guys to go to grantcardone.com/go and get started on fixing this, okay? I'm going to give you the money and finance course. I've been doing this an hour and 13 minutes now. This is a completely edited program on how you could start from zero and 10x your income, 10x your investments, 10x the things you want to do to start creating life for yourself. I'm going to give you that free. Thank you, Johnny. Okay, also, I'm going to provide you with oh, you don't have them all set up? Me? Okay. No. I'm going to provide you with a one-on-one strategy call today. Now, I can only do so many of these, so if we get to too many people that want this,
well, some of them are carrying over tomorrow already. So we've okay. got. So it'll be today or tomorrow or Monday. Yeah. We'll get it scheduled.
Okay. We have room to schedule 100 of these. So if you want to take advantage of it, you'll get on the call one of our coaches. The goal here is to identify what you want to accomplish. What are your targets? What is your situation? Where are you at now? Okay, where do you want to go? What's in your way? Have you been indoctrinated to not have? Okay, are you spending more than you're earning? What do you need to cut back on? Okay, we're also going to include our 7-figure coaching calls. That's for the next 3 weeks. We're going to give you a private networking group. So we're going to put a group of people together. Networks are very, very important. Of all people that want to 10x their wealth. Okay, a group of people that are all committed, like-minded people. This is priceless. You can't buy this anywhere on the internet. I'm going to give you all this for $297. Plus, I'm going to send you the wealth creation formula, the 10x rule, the notebook, a hat, and a water bottle for $297. And if that's not enough, okay, I said that I would give you
a $297 credit in the store.
A credit at our store.
And a 100% money back guarantee.
Okay, and if you're not happy, boom, I'll give you the money back, no problem, and you can keep the program, okay? I want to invite people. I want to build the largest network of wealth creators on planet Earth. Now, you can't go to your bank, Bank of America or Goldman, or I probably ought to stop mentioning these banks because they're going to be upset with me one day. You can't go to a bank and say, hey, bro, help me do this. How much money do I need, Jared, to actually have a wealth plan with a bank?
You probably need to put at least $500,000 with them to get like a decent financial advisor.
Yeah. And then they're going to want to charge me what?
2%.
2% of the $500,000, which is $10,000 a year. Every year.
And they're going to want to manage the money.
They want to manage the money, so it's going to be 2%. Plus, there's probably going to be some upside on if the money grows, which is no problem if the money grows, okay? All right? So a wealth plan will cost you somewhere between $4,500, $10,000, or if you have $1 million, okay, that would be $20,000 a year. If you had $10 million, it would be $200,000 a year. What I'm offering you guys is to get started with this for $297. Money back guarantee, accredited my store against any of the other stuff that we do, whether it's real estate or marketing or sales or coming into our offices, anything that you want to use it for, that you can use it for. Maybe you want to gift it to somebody else, okay? Number 4 thing you need to do, let's get back to our what you have to do to actually create wealth. Number 4, okay? Financial literacy, number 3, right? Which requires you to get unindoctrinated. Number 4, you need a wealth plan. And so when you guys are on the phone with our coach, what's the plan? What's your plan? What's your vehicle to get to the plan? Who do you know that can get you to the plan? And by the way, what is in your way of your plan? See, if you have a Ferrari, okay, and you have it, what are those lock-up wheels when the police put the lockups on them?
Oh, a boot.
The boot. You got the boot on your Ferrari, it's not going anyplace. Most of your indoctrination is a boot on your mind, okay? Maybe you've made some decisions in the past that operate like a boot. Maybe you got a mom or a dad or an uncle or an aunt, or you got your upbringing, you grew up in poverty. I've had a boot on my head. That boot has been in my head my whole life. This prevented me from getting to wealth faster because of the way I was brought up. I was brought up by a single mom. She had 5 kids to fund. She had no way to get money. She didn't know anything about investing. So guess what? Save your money, save your money, save your money. Reduce your expenditures, reduce your expenditures. Go to college. You got to go to college. College is the way, okay? Don't spend any money. Don't take any risk. Save your money. Plan for a rainy day, okay? You need 3 months of savings, okay? A penny saved is
a penny earned.
How many of you grew up with all these sayings? Okay? Or I can tell by your refrigerator. If you open your refrigerator, if you want to know if you've been contaminated by the middle class and by this save thing that never works, okay? If you want to know, just open your refrigerator and see how many little Ziploc containers or little Ziploc bags or what are those little boxes, what are those boxes they sell you?
Tupperware.
Tupperware.
Yeah.
If you have Tupperware in your house, you have been indoctrinated. You spent money to save dinner that nobody wanted last night for tomorrow night. They didn't want it last night. And you spent money to put it in a piece of plastic that contaminates the food to feed your kids tomorrow because you told your kids, eat it all. God damn it. Eat it. I made it. You eat it. Well, you didn't make it. You Ubered it. You Ubered more than you could eat. And because you already spent the money, you're like, now we need to save it. Okay? The price is not going down because you put it in the refrigerator. You already spent the money. This is stupidity.
Well, the funny thing is you put it in there and then you don't eat it.
And then you don't eat it, okay? Or by the time you get to it, it's Ben & Jerry's that's been in there 3 months and there's one bite left. One bite. Or it's a Diet Coke and it's flat. It's been in there 4 days. You took all but the last sip and you said, gonna save my way to wealth. It's crazy. Okay, this is the insanity of the middle class, trying to save their way. It's not a lack of mindset, by the way. It's an abundance of poverty mindset. So we got to fix that. Number 5, what's your action plan? Who and what are you going to do to get there? How much action are you going to take? Let me make sure you take a note here on action, okay? First of all, it will be actions, not action. That should say with an S. You're going to read this book called The 10X Rule, okay? Not one time in this book will you see the word action as a singular. It is never singular, okay? No one action will get you anything. The number of actions that you can repeat consistently over long periods of time is the only thing. This is about the stream, not the rock. How many actions will you take? Now, are the actions you're taking actually the right actions? Or is it just busy work? Number 6, how do I increase my income? If you see this little wheel in the right-hand corner, okay, you're going to see the wheel. The first thing says what right there, Jared?
Targets. Targets, yeah.
That's what we talked about earlier. Second thing is, how do I get attention for my targets? Hey, guys, I'm going to build $1 billion real estate portfolio. No. I'm going to build a $5 billion real estate portfolio. No. I'm going to build a $10 billion real estate portfolio. How do I get attention for that target? Okay, who do I get the attention with? Who is the lead?
The lead gets generated from the attention.
Who's the lead? What leads? Where are the leads? How do I manage the leads? Okay, I've been doing this now for 42 years. Who can fund me from 25 to 26? How do I keep that lead so that when I'm 66, I can go back to that lead that's watched me for 40 years build wealth, and I can have them invest in one of my projects? You guys are going to grow. Johnny, pull up the evolution of the person, okay? You see, what nobody told you guys is that you're going to grow your evolution. If you're 25 years old right now, you're not thinking about when you're 45. But the evolution of the individual is very similar to the monkey that became the human, if they did. I don't know if man was ever a monkey or not, but you know that evolution thing, you know, the Darwinism?
Darwin, yeah.
Darwin's
theory of evolution.
Well, there's Darwin evolution when it comes to wealth evolution. You start as a kid, then you become a student, then you're part-time, then you're full-time, then you're probably a manager, you're an executive, you're a partner, you're a CEO, an investor, and a philanthropist, okay? See, most of you just stop halfway. Do they see this, Johnny?
Yeah.
You stopped. You stopped as a life. Well, first of all, some of you spent 17 years in school. I know people that spent 27 years in school. I know people 45 years old going to get another doctorate. I'm like, bro, you never worked. Like, you're going to be 67 and still in school. Okay. I don't know how many certificates you need. Okay. But that's not who funds colleges. Guess who funds colleges? The guy that's not a full-time anything. In fact, he dropped out of college. Okay, he dropped out of college, went and built something, becomes worth $200 billion, Elon, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos. Okay, they stopped being managers. Jeff Bezos was a manager at one of the big firms on Wall Street, stopped being a manager, left, and skipped to CEO and investor. Now he's giving his money away. Okay? These people generate tremendous wealth by moving. Notice this looks like a graph, by the way. It's a graph. That's a graph, right? Here's another graph. This is the guy that was in school too long. Okay? This is the guy that got a job. They were doing this. They got, boom, and then the graph picks up like this. They didn't do this. They did this. They got out of school, spent 17 years in schools, started at 5, 6 years old, 23 years old, and then they got a job. No, there's nothing, bro. This could extend for 80 years. Your grandmother, your grandfather, your uncle, your aunt, most of your family. Nah, but they didn't do it like that. It doesn't look like that. It looks like this. It looks like this, okay? And the only reason this went up, if I take their income graph up, they're like, oh no, we're doing better. I started down here at 0, and then I had $20,000 a year, and now we're making 70, and now I'm making 100, and now I'm retired. The only reason it looks like that is they destroyed the US dollar, okay? The only reason their income actually went up is because they printed money. And this is what happened. They printed more money, okay, or they print more money, and the value of goods and services, or the dollar went down, and the cost went up. If it wasn't for inflation right here, most of your grandparents would still be making 15 grand a year, and the house would still be $5,000 a year. Without inflation, most goods and services would have never gone up. Your incomes almost didn't go up. Pull up an inflation income graph. The income graph for
middle class.
Huh?
For middle class.
Yeah. See, I don't know about you guys, but man, I want to have a great life. I want to buy the best water in the world. I want to have the best health in the world. I want to be able to buy all these services and these alternative health cares that aren't included by insurance. I want to go on great trips.
So this is the difference between the top 1% and
No, I just want to see the income graph.
This is
yeah, good. Okay, so can you show that to them? Okay, if you take the middle class income graph in America, adjusted for inflation, see this blue line right here? This is why nobody's getting ahead, folks. This is what the government's not telling you. Okay, this red line, this is not the bad guy. I know it's in red, it makes you think it's the devil. But it's not the devil, okay? These guys have a strategy. They have a formula.
You can't?
No, you can't see it because, see, I'm going to do it like this. These are the things that you guys need to dedicate more time to, okay? This blue line right here is the
middle class income growth.
It's flat. What did I say in the first 15 minutes of this? A flat line is a dead line. It's a dead man walking, a dead family walking, dead wealth. All flat lines go to?
0.
0. They all go to 0. This is a zero-sum line, okay? This line right here is,
Here.
is the wealth class. This is CNN trying to get me, okay? This is the wealth class. This is the wealth class. Now, you could say, oh, these people are the problem. These people are not the problem. Problem is these people don't have their solution, okay? So I've been studying wealthy people for 40 years. This is why I am where I am. I've been studying wealthy people because I had actual targets. I did not listen to my mother. I didn't listen to my sister. My 2 sisters love me to death. I did not go to them for financial advice. I actually never talked to them about money. They get to see me doing this. How do you do this? You got to go to the top of the food chain and learn from them. Okay, so I'm inviting you guys. I don't know how many people in my situation today are inviting you to join them to spend 2 days with them. But I'm inviting you and your family and your whole team, by the way. You could bring 20 people to this event if you want to. And you should. In 3 weeks, we're going to spend 2 days. You don't have to go anyplace. No travel, no flights, right, Jared? No hotels. What are you looking at?
Nope, I'm looking at the chart.
Yeah, you don't have to do any of that. You don't have to do any of that. I'm going to deliver this to your tablet, your computer, your TV, however you want to watch it. I'm going to spend 2 days with you to talk to you about your targets, your wealth, your possibilities, and every 20 or 30 minutes or so, I pop in, meaning we come out of the presentation. You'll see all these screens around me. And I can actually pull up people. I can't do it today because of this technology limits us. But we have special technology where you can actually see yourself and ask a question. And we can start solving some of these problems that you're having with, I don't know anybody, or I have a product that's not selling, or I don't know where to market, okay? Or I don't know what to do with my money, or I don't know where to invest it, or I can't find deals, okay? I'm gonna literally start unwinding people's problems, okay? So that's why I'm going over what is the formula for creating wealth. There's a specific formula that people that have this graph, the Waltons and the Musk and the Gates, they have a formula for creating wealth, and they were trying to create wealth, by the way. 1, they had a commitment. 2, they had targets. 3, they had financial literacy. They became unindoctrinated. They got rid of the negativity and the trap. 4th, they had a wealth plan. 80% of all millionaires have a wealth plan. 100% of all billionaires have a wealth plan. Okay, they probably have a family office running the plan. So things like, okay, we're going to work on things like, if you could show them this little graph, Johnny, the one you just showed them, the commitment to the gold, okay? Then the wealth plan for building that. What is the plan? That's where the income is, the expenses are, the investments. How do I get rid of the IRS? That would make you 40% more money. If you're an employee, you have to learn how to do this because you don't have a lot of ways to do this. You want to get these people off your back. Then how do I start investing my money, Johnny, so that my money grows? Okay? And then how do I start protecting my assets, not my cash? You cannot protect cash. There is no protection for cash. The rats eat it. The government eats it, okay? It depreciates in value because they print it. And then how do I actualize my goals and my dreams? Now, I can't do number 1 for you guys. You're the only one that can do this. And many of you, by the way, congratulations, you did it today. You came today. You should be acknowledged that you're interested. Okay? We had 65,000 people register for this. There's 350 million people in America. So I either did a very poor job at marketing it, or nobody's interested in it, or a combination. But congratulations to everybody here that is committed. Let me go back and ask this question again in the chat. On a scale from 1 to 10, okay, assume I am a 8.5. I'm going to give myself an 8.5 on a scale from 1 to 10. Okay, I'm the Tom Brady in the room, if you will. Okay. Or whatever the analogy you want to use, okay? I'm not a 10, or you can make me the 10. Let's say I am a 10, okay? Let's just say Grant's the 10. On a scale from 1 to 10, how committed are you right now to creating wealth for you and your family? Be honest, okay? 10s. I'm a 10. I'm over here. Okay, a lot of 10s, man. A lot of you guys think you're right there with me right now. You're as committed as I am. Really? A 15. We got some 15s in the room. We got people more committed than me. God damn. I don't think anybody here is more committed than me. What do you think, Jared? What do you think about all these? What do you think about all these 10s and 15s?
Yeah, I think the second question is, if you're a 10 out of 10 committed and you don't have money, then you can't be a 10. Like if you don't have.
Well, no, you're missing either the actual targets, the financial literacy, you've been indoctrinated, you don't have the plan, you're not taking actions, you don't know how to increase your income. So if you're committed to a 10, why don't you have the 10? Because if you guys were as committed as I had, and you were doing the rest of the things, like Nicole, Leslie, Raphael, Samantha, Viola, Randy, they have all, April, Carol, Robert Goodwin, Robert Myers, India Loth, all these people have already committed to spending 2 more days with me, okay? Now, how committed are you? I'm gonna carve out 2 days of my life, provide you with a private coach, set up a network of hundreds of people that you actually get the recordings of if you can't hear it, okay? I'm gonna give you a money-back guarantee, a $297 credit at my store. You keep everything if you don't like it. Like, this is a no-brainer. That's how committed I am. I wrote a book called The Wealth Creation Formula. I'm going to give it to you. I wrote another book called The 10X Rule. This book took 10 months to write. This took a year and a half to write, okay? I'm going to give these to you. I'm going to ship them out to you. I'm committed. Not only committed to creating wealth for myself, all you guys that are 10s, let me ask you this. How committed are you to creating wealth for other people? Because I'm here on a Saturday spending time with you. We've been here an hour and 30 minutes, 94 minutes now. I'm as committed to my own wealth as I am to helping you create your wealth. Because I think true wealth would not be just about money. It would also be about a network of other people. Jay-Z has an assault. Well, if I'm the only one that's rich, I ain't rich.
Well, the other thing too is like, so just from his real estate stuff, and I hope you don't mind me saying this, just from his real estate right now, he makes about $1.5 million a month in passive income. Just ask yourself, if you were making $1.5 million a month in passive income, what would you be doing on a Saturday? Or a weekend? Or what would you be doing Monday through Friday? This guy's here grinding every single day. That's what commitment actually looks like.
Yeah, commitment really looks like that. Now, you guys can be committed, spiritually committed. You can be like, I'm in, I'm ready to go. But you all know sometimes it just, then 30 minutes from now, you're committed to Netflix and Fritos. You know, you're committed, I got to go to work. Oh, I got to go pick the kids up. Now you're committed to something different. You understand these commitments change. What I'm inviting you guys to do is let me help you stay committed to your actual targets, to financial literacy, to a wealth plan that works, sharing with you strategies I've used that work, and mistakes I've made that derailed me, actions you can specifically take in sales, marketing, multiplication, investing, okay? How to diversify your investments so you have multiple streams of money coming in. I want to share those actions with you that I used so you can increase your income streams from not one flow, but to multiple flows of income, okay? What if you could have 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 more flows of income? And number 8, provide you with a spider web, okay, of a network of Avengers, if you will. So you're surrounded by Superman's got Wonder Woman and Batman, like create an Avenger network of 10x wealth seekers and doers. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what happened for me, and I don't know if they have this graph to show you, but the first 25 years of my life, from 25 to 50 years old, while I was doing better, all along the way, by the way, when I hooked up with the right people, you're going to see a graph that goes like this to like this, okay? Now, back here, yeah, there it is right there, okay? This is the first 25 years of my life. Compared to everybody I grew up with in this refinery town, I sold cars for 7 years, okay? Before that, I sold shoes, I sold fish, I worked in a warehouse, a restaurant, a busboy, a refinery. I worked on roofs in the summertime. I sold shoes. I sold clothes. What else did I sell? I think I covered everything. Oh, I worked for an accountant at a pool company. I had the shittiest jobs. Dude, they were all shitty. None of them. I worked at McDonald's. I was fired from McDonald's. I earned $1.75 an hour with no way to increase my income. Okay, I spent 17 years in schools. I had $40,000 worth of debt. There was no way my McDonald's job or my sales job at the clothing store could possibly pay for or keep up with my college degree. My mom told me I had to get a degree. It was the only way. I had no dad to show me the way. I worked in a refinery town. You were a big shot if you earned $4 an hour because you worked for the unions. You had to be connected to a union boss to get a job there. And even if you did, it was a shitty job. Even those guys were making $150 a week. They'd spend it all in the bar Friday night complaining about they were underpaid. Very dangerous jobs in most cases, okay? And then I went into a sales job and I started my own company at 30, and the numbers got way better, way better. Like if I kicked out the second half of my graph when I was 50, you see this graph right here? This is 50 years old, folks, okay? If I kicked out this part of the graph, this part of the graph would look like that. But when I really learned how to do this, when I started studying at 50 years old, I was actually 52 years old, the economy had busted, it was 2008. I lived in California. The economy was completely busted. My income had stopped. In fact, it dipped big time because of the economy. I had 3 income flows. 2 of them froze up, and the other one, I couldn't move the asset class. It was real estate. You couldn't sell any real estate. And the state of California raised income taxes. Okay, my income dropped in half, and the state raised income taxes from 10% during the worst time in my lifetime. They raised income taxes. We had to sell the house, move the companies, sold the cars, everything, and moved to Florida to basically avoid that 13% taxes. And I recreated my life in the last, what is that, 50 or 52? 13 years, yeah, 52 years old. 13 years, I took that thing nuclear. I'm like, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, okay? And I took responsibility. I'm the problem. There's something I'm doing, okay? Now, how many of you are having that revelation right now? You're like, bro, there's something I'm doing that's wrong. I'm the same guy, by the way, same guy I was when I was 25. I'm the same guy. Anybody that's ever known me when I was 25, 28, 31, 34, 38, 45, 48, dude, I'm the same guy. I've been the same guy. Johnny's on the camera right now. I'm the same guy all the time.
Always.
Same dude all the time. Always in a hurry to get stuff done.
Whether the camera's on or off,
it don't matter. I'm same guy all the time. Okay. Easily frustrated.
Yeah.
But I blow off and then I'm back to work. Okay. Like I have a blow off and then I'm like, okay, let's go do this and let's have fun. Always wanted to help people. Left the treatment center when I was 25 years old for a drug addiction. And for what, 25, 30, 32 years? No, 42 years, sorry. 42 years, all I wanted to do is work and help people. It's the only thing I want to do every day. I want to work and I want to help people. I want to work and I want to help people. I want to set a good example, feel good about myself, work hard, help a bunch of people. Help a bunch of people, work hard, help a bunch of people. And so the fact that you guys give me an opportunity to help you today, I can't tell you how much, because when I was 25 years old and I left that treatment center, they said, hey, bro, you better stay busy, because if you're not busy, you're going to be in trouble. Okay, I'm one of those people that if I'm not busy, you know, I did drugs for 10 years, from 15 years old to 25, every single day, 8 and 10 times a day. I'm one of those people that when I get on something, bro, it could all go wrong. Okay, or it could go very right. And the guy when I left, a Zoom call, when I left that treatment center, the guy said to me, he's like, bro, you better stay busy, either working or helping. You're either going to be helping people or working. If you're not working, you better be helping people. If you're not helping people, you better be working. And if you're not doing both of those, you better be sleeping. Otherwise, you're coming back here. That was 42 years ago. I've never been back to a treatment center, never used a drug again, because I'm addicted to helping myself and helping other people. And that's why I'm here with you today, and that's why I hope so many of you join me at grantcardone.com/go. Some of this is selfish, by the way. I want more people up here with me. I want more people up here. You know, I'm going to go to France in 3 weeks. I'm going to go in July. I'm going to be there for 2 weeks on a boat. It's going to be unbelievable. You know what? I'd like to have more people out there on the boat. I'd like to make friends with Scott Clark and Melinda Woods and Greg and Stacy and Kelly and Lucia and Julia and David Foster. I want to help you guys. I want to be part of your story. Okay. Look, if I could intervene right here. Okay. Let's say you're 50 today, and 15 or 20 years from now, this is your graph, or you're 25. And in 10 years, your graph looks like that. And let's say 15 years from now, I'm not alive anymore. I'm 82 years old. Let's say I die at 82. And you're like, you could talk about me for the next 20 years. Bro, Grant Cardone. People are going to be like, what happened to you, man? Okay, what happened to you right here? Did you ever get any advice? When you guys make it, when you hit a graph like this, you know how many people have asked me, who helped you? Okay. Well, hey, man, I'm going to tell you something. Nobody really helped me. Nobody reached out and said, hey, could I spend 2 days with you? But anytime I did go get help, my graph always went straight up. I spent 90 days with a guy. When was this? 52, 50. I was 55 years old. This graph is starting to move. I spent 90 days with the dude, And by the way, when you're making a lot of money, you don't want to spend time with people. You don't want to just keep making money. Mm-hmm. It's actually more expensive to get help at this part of the graph. It's more expensive. Right down here. Dude, it's cheap down here.
They can't see that.
Okay.
Yeah.
They can't see the green thing?
No.
Okay. At the flat part of the line, Johnny, can you show it to him?
Let me work on it right now.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't. See, at this part of the line, it's very, very inexpensive to get help. When the line goes up, this is where it gets expensive because you could be doing this instead. I spent 90 days with a guy that was worth $2 billion. 90 days. Changed my life. It was about right here, by the way, that I did it. And boom, my graph went up. Every time I could get access to somebody that could help me, okay, whether it was me going to a conference or me meeting with somebody or me flying to their offices or me getting a guy and traveling around with him, like any time that you get an opportunity to get around wealth, watch this. I don't have time. I can't get away from work. What are you doing? You're denying the opportunity to get around wealth. So congratulations to everybody who took advantage of grantcardone.com/go, because I'm going to spend 2 days with you, and all we're going to be talking about the whole time is this. Rather than 90 minutes, I'm going to spend 2 days with you. You're going to get a workbook. Do we have that workbook built yet? We'll have a workbook that you will be delivered, okay? You'll download it, and we're going to be going over exactly what your path to wealth is, to your target, okay? It's called the 10X Wealth System, 7-figure coaching calls. It includes money and finance course, one-on-one strategy today, private networking group, the 10X toolbox, which includes the wealth creation formula and the 10X rule book, and the money and finance course is 3 hours. This is what you're going to start on today, by the way, after you do your coaching call. It's $297. We invite you to take advantage of this opportunity. The website's grantcardone.com/go, grantcardone.com/go. We're going to close it off here. I'm going to open it up to some questions here in a second. We're going to close it off here in the next 14 minutes. We're going to take it down. You'll never get this offer again. So if you want to take advantage of it, by the way, it comes with a money-back guarantee. Johnny, I don't know if you have that the credit. Money-back guarantee. We'll give you a full credit. It's fine. We'll give you a full credit at the store of $297. So you're going to trade $297 with me on a card. As soon as you hit the card, I'm going to give you a credit at my store for $297. I got hundreds of products you can buy at my store. Sales, marketing, personal finance, another personal finance course, how to market yourself, how to build the story out. Cardone University, you can use the $297 against any of the workshops we do, live or digital, or you can use the $297 credit as a gift to one of your kids or an employee or whatever you want to do. And if you're not happy, if that's not enough, I'll give you a 100% money back guarantee so that if you're not happy in 3 weeks when I deliver the content to you, I'll give you your $297 back. No harm, no foul, you're cool, and you keep the program. So this is a risk-free, no offense to anybody, but folks, you're stupid not to take advantage of this, okay? Literally, like, don't say no to an opportunity. I'm not calling anybody stupid, but I have done some stupid stuff, okay? And the way you take advantage of it is you join our network by going to grantcardone.com/go, grantcardone.com/go. Can you show them the website, or is there a link they can hit, Johnny? I don't know how that works.
Yes, sir. I got the website up for them right now.
grantcardone.com/go. You just put your credit card in for $297. If you can't afford the $297, figure out how to do the $297. Okay? Because that might be the only thing keeping you away from the wealth that you deserve. Okay? Every seat is a front row seat. It's live, interactive with exercises. We're going to open it up to some questions right now with the VIP room because I'm going to show you the value of interacting with other people and how we can actually help other people and it can transform your plan. Live, interactive breakouts. Hold on, you left it. And live Q&A. Also a one-on-one strategy call with you and your spouse if you want today. That's free. You can't buy that. Okay? This is what I'm doing for all of you. Money and Finance course, that's free. You're not paying for it. It's $2,500 on my website. You can go to my website, grantcardone.com. Look for the Money and Finance course. It's $2,497. I'm going to give it to you for free for a lifetime, by the way. You have access for a lifetime. I'm going to give you 3 7-figure coaching calls with our team, okay? And I'm going to drop you into a private networking group of like-minded people from around the world. Now, you can network with these people. You can buy products from these people. You could sell products to these people. Most importantly, you're going to expand your network of people like you. Very easy to talk to these people, okay? Here's everything we're offering. It's fantastic opportunity for you to join the Grant Cardone 10X Wealth System. It's only $297, and we give you a credit. Okay, I'd love for you to join us. We'll take this down in 10 minutes, okay? I just want to tell you about some people that have done this, okay? A guy named Dane Bruce, for instance, okay? He implemented the 10X Wealth System and he increased his revenue $490,000. Just want to be clear. I am not saying you are going to increase your wealth by $490,000. I'm going to tell you this. I wouldn't even be impressed by that number. I increased my wealth by like $2 billion using this. I can't promise you, you know that. I can't promise you you're going to do that. I don't know what you're going to do with it. You may do nothing with it, okay? But I know this. You'll always have the Money and Finance course. You'll have that course. You will have done the strategy call. You have the networking group. You got the coaching calls. You have the data, how long it takes you to do that. Greg Molinard, he got on the 10X Wealth System, went from $1 million to $11 million in annual revenue. What period of time was that?
3 or 4 years.
Okay. That's tremendous. Are you going to do that? I doubt it. Could you do that? I know for sure you could. Could you do more than that? Guarantee you could, okay?
91% of businesses in America make less than $1 million a year in revenue. And 2/3 of businesses fail within 5 years. So the stats are not in your favor.
Yeah.
The difference between the people that make it work and the people that don't is the people that make it work are constantly looking for ways to make it work. They're trying to learn new things. They're trying to get connected with new people. Their commitment pushes them to do the uncomfortable thing that most people are not willing to do. Talk to somebody you don't know. Pick up the phone and call somebody that's not expecting your phone call. Like some of these simple things are the things that start building the confidence. Like today, Grant was really trying to reprogram you because most people think that they want to make money, but they have all these blocks and stops and things in their way because they haven't actually made a commitment yet. So you gotta just start taking steps. A tree doesn't fall down getting hit by an axe because of one swing. It's because of a lot of swings over a period of time.
Okay, Isaiah just called about the VIP materials and was hung up on. Okay, we'll call back. We'll handle it, bro. Okay.
You want to go to questions?
Okay, yeah, I do, but I want to finish this. We doubled our profit to $180,000 in the first quarter. So here's a more reasonable. He didn't go from 1 million to 11 million, but he doubled his profits because of the wealth system, okay? Nisa Hall, in 5 months, she went to the interactive thing that we're inviting you to, okay? She made $350,000 after getting on the system, all right? Let's open up some questions.
Let's go to George Kern.
George Kern, what's up, George?
Hang on. Let's unmute yourself. We can't hear you, bud. You gotta unmute.
Are you there?
Yeah, we got you.
Hey, got a question for you guys. Got like 3 or 4 different businesses rolling, and they're online, and 1 or 2 of them's not making any profit at all. When do you know when you should actually go ahead and cut your losses and get out of that business and grow wealth in a different way?
Yeah, so what I would say, I thank you, by the way, for being an entrepreneur and taking risks. One, you can spread too many ways.
Too thin.
Too thin. But it doesn't mean that third business, just because it's not making money, is a bad business. Okay, some businesses don't make money in the beginning. Now, if it's distracting you from the other 2 flows, that's a problem. But what I would say to you is I need a little more time to sit down with you and figure out what's the flows from the first 3. How do the 3 businesses fit in? Are they symbiotic? Are they at all connected?
Yes, they are, except for the real estate portion.
So the first 2 are what? What are the first 2 companies?
Trucking company and actual diesel parts company also.
Okay, so they're very connected.
Yes.
And is one feeding the other, meaning, you get a lead here, but you could move him to the second product?
Yeah, well, basically, we're trying to branch out and bring on new people completely.
Yeah, but you're feeding off a similar environment or ecosystem, right?
Yes. Like we're trying to get the name out through like brokers, shippers, things like that to bring other companies in that would need the products.
Yeah, good. And then the real estate, what's the third piece? I think you said real estate.
Yes.
What is that?
Land ownership that's appreciating basically, and like rental units.
Yeah, and then that's the one that's not working?
That's the one that is working actually.
Okay, that works. Which one doesn't work?
The online diesel parts thing that's connected to the whole trucking company.
Yeah.
One thing that Grant always has said for years, because multiple flows of income was the seventh step of that whole process. I saw a lot of people asking about that. Is you don't create a secondary flow until you've stabilized your first. Stabilized doesn't mean I'm making money. Stabilized means the business is established, it's generating revenue, and you're predictably growing that business. Until that happens.
Is that happening?
Yeah, the first one is no problem. Like actually we have more freight than probably what we can actually handle. The problem is now the second one is like we're feeding the second one with ads, everything else, and not getting anything actually in return.
Yeah.
We've done, Cardone you. We've done how you have the Facebook ads, Google ads, everything. And it's like, do we lower the price to basically nothing to get people in the door to get this thing rolling? Or do we just, cut it after, 4 to 6 months we're into this already?
Again, I don't know. I'd have to dig in more on what's happening and also what's the opportunity. If there's not a big opportunity there to help you make your first business better, at some point you do shoot it in the head and move on, right? But and it sounds like that's kind of where you're leading to. The other thing I would say to you is you might not be needing to advertise right now. Now Jared is complicit in spending ad dollars, but because he wants to scale it so it's not dependent upon me. I, on the other hand, would want to go organic. We were just talking about this before the show today. Our penetration rate on an organic, somebody that already knows us, the penetration on that client that already knows and trusts me is like 4 times higher. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but 3 to 4 times higher because they already know me. I already have a relationship with them, And so this is where you got to start playing with things and working on things. Guys, if you own a business and you're going to always be tweaking that business. And so I would, yeah.
With what you were doing, Grant, okay, that's the biggest thing I think nobody knows is if you're doing this organically on like Facebook, Instagram, how many followers should you try to get per month or per week, with, 1 or 2 posts a day? What was your goal?
Yeah, we didn't have a goal. We didn't have any money though. So because we didn't have any money, I hustled. And it might be your problem. When you make money, you spend money. Okay, this is what we didn't have 8 years ago. We were so efficient 8 years ago, we didn't have any money. I'd take the money would come into the business. See, you're probably redirecting from the trucking business to the diesel.
Yes.
I wouldn't do that. I would start with zero. I opened with this today. Start from zero. I would not fund the diesel business. You guys you got to put somebody in charge over there. Bro, here's your budget. Zero. Figure it out. And then he'll figure it out. Money makes people weak. And that's why if you guys remember, I want to apologize to everybody because I only have 90 minutes. We've been here 120 minutes, but I go so fast, I'm not able to go deep. But if you guys remember this, always operate from zero, always. It was one of the first things I said today. So let's say he brings $1 million into his diesel business, in trucking business, and he ends up with $400,000 of net profit after taxes, net EBITDA, right? Yeah. He ends up with 400 grand. And he believes, and he's done this for maybe 5 years, and now he's got $2 million. Somebody over there thinks that money should go feed this other company, but it shouldn't. You should treat this like it's zero. He should have all that money invested in something illiquid like the real estate, We won't cover all this today, but what I would do is I'd bury all that money over there and then operate this new company, the online diesel company, with zero. You won't be wasting any money. You know why? Because you never have any money. And broke people, if any of you here grew up poor, how many of you grew up poor? Like you didn't have anything? Just put it in the chat. Say, I grew up poor, or zero. I can't see the chat anymore. Or it froze. Yeah, dude, poor people are the most creative people in the world. They have the most fun. They have the greatest games. Dude, you know how to, because you have
your imagination.
You have to use your imagination. You have imaginary friends. You have imaginary, you don't go to the store to get a game, to pay for a game. You make a game. And so what I do is I stay poor. I don't act poor anymore. I just stay poor. I trick myself into seeing how to get things for less and how to get deals. And so I'm looking for glitches and cracks and windows that are open, okay? Let's
Jennifer.
go.
Jennifer, you're up. Go ahead, unmute.
Is that Jennifer or Sharon?
Jennifer.
Yeah, so I wanted to know, as we embark on this journey with you, is there one tangible step we can do like right now or within the first 30 days? Is it investing $1,000 or what can we do to jumpstart things? Because we're kind of flatlined in our business now. We have some turnover with the different seasons. We have a martial arts and after school program.
Two things that are very easy for you to do right now. You should download the Money and Finance course. When you take advantage of the opportunity today, you're going to get that link. Everyone start with the Money and Finance course. Okay? You're not going to listen to this one time. You're going to listen. This is a master class on finance. Okay? This is what you're going to listen to start unwinding the indoctrination. Okay, what are we doing? Okay, you're going to go through it. Get your spouse to go through it, your kids to go through it. Like, what are we doing with money? Okay, why are we thinking about money like this? So that's the first thing. That's a no-brainer. You don't need to spend $1,000 right now. Just get this. I'm giving it to you for free. And you don't need to invest $1,000 right now. But the second thing I want you to do is get on a call with one of our coaches to identify where you want to go. This target, the clarity of the target is almost a make or break point. Many of you here have almost given up because your targets, even when you set them, they're wrong. Most people don't ever have them. They've given up on them because they don't change your life. So you quit making them. Okay, the target needs to be significant. So significant that it wouldn't just change your life or your spouse's life or your kid's life. It would change the trajectory of the community you live in. Okay, meaning you would be ostracized because you're too successful. You can't stay there. Or that that everybody wants to be like you. Okay, you're trying to attract, you're trying to build a fire. And so the target needs to be big enough to change your life. Otherwise, and you guys can all take this note, if the target will not change your life, you will quit on it. We have 1,500 employees. I know millions of people, millions, like without exaggeration. I've touched millions of people's lives. People quit on their targets because they don't change their life. When you go from 100,000 to 110,000, nothing changes. You'll go back to 100 every time. And so nothing changes. So most people don't think about 100 to 1,000,000 because they're like, oh, that's too much. No, actually, it's not too much. It's easier to do that. You can't do it the way you're doing it. It's easier to do that, though, and stay excited than to do that and be excited.
Jennifer, what's your business going to do in revenue this year?
We're still within our first year of our business, so we're hoping to pull about 50,000.
Okay, so if that number was 3 million or 4 million or 5 million, like what he's saying about the target is the target should create you to have to think differently about your business. So if I wanted to take our business, we did, in this just one of the businesses, we did $150 million last year. If I want to take this business to $1 billion, I cannot do what we've been doing.
That's right.
It forces me to think differently about how we're going to go about hitting that target. And so, like, people can easily blow past, targets, whatever, $1 million. They can blow right past them. It's the most critical step of the process because it changes the think in the organization. So now you think about a $5 million target rather than a $50,000 target, and now you're like, well, how many students do we need to have? Can we do that out of one location? How many leads do we need to generate? What do our packages and offers need to look like? You start changing the way that you're thinking about the business because of the target you're trying to get to. It's like if I wanted our team to sell 1,000 of X every day, but I only had 2 people and I needed to have 30, boom, first problem. I need to figure out how to get to 30 salespeople. And you don't go from 2 to 30 overnight, but now I'm like, okay, now I have a target. I need to get to 30 people. Because if I get to 30 people based on what I know they're going to produce, I'm going to get 1,000 units a month. So now I have to go out and start incrementally working that plan and hiring people, recruiting people, training people, making sure that they have leads to call, making sure that you have a great script, making sure that you're following up with customers, measuring all the metrics through that process so you can optimize everything. The target drives all of that. So for those of you guys that aren't sold on the target is everything.
Yeah, now you may have been following me for some period of time and saying, oh yeah, I heard him talk about targets before. But if you don't understand the significance of it, you haven't gotten it. Like there's books I've read 7 times. Some of you read 7 books. I'll read the same book 7 times. I don't want to like the book. I want to know the book, okay? Now, for everybody out there, if you have a business that's making $50,000 a year, you're better off working for somebody else, okay? It is easier to come up with solutions for a business that makes $500,000 a year, $50,000 a month, than it is to come up with solutions for this. You don't need a business to make $50,000 a year. What we need, you need a business that produces $50,000 a month, okay? And when I tell you and your husband, hey, we're going to go from $50,000 a year to $50,000 a month, and then we're going to go to $50,000 a week. All we're doing is wealthy people compress time to earn more money, okay? And you're like, that's impossible. No, it's not. We're going to find somebody that already does $50,000 a week in the same business that you're in. It doesn't really matter to me what the business is, okay? Somebody's already doing this. Somebody's doing this. We're going to find out what they did, and then we're going to add that to what you're doing. And then we're going to find out what you have to give up to do that, okay? I don't know what it is. It's something. But the solutions over here, there's the creativity over here and the life change and the things and the people you can help is so much more exciting over here. If you get this, nothing changes. You pay your bills. Okay, if you do this, oh my God, life becomes very interesting. Let's go to the next question.
This is going to be from Raphael.
Raphael, how you doing?
All right, doing good, guys. Thank you for having me.
Great to have you here.
Thank you, guys. So I hear that I see that there's a little bit over 600 people. My question is, would you allow me to share my story and my relationship with you guys to hopefully inspire?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go, Raphael. Tell them real quick what happened for you. Give us like 60 seconds.
10 years ago, I came in from Mexico. I started working as a dishwasher. So I started my plumbing company a little bit afterwards. Now I'm 9 years into it. I started with Cardone right about 3 years ago at $700,000 in my company, and now I'm pacing a $3 million revenue this year with 15 employees. So, I mean, I just went all in. I've decided to stay broke. I've decided to, with that revenue and the amount of money that it requires to invest in myself and in my team now, I could see my potential now going not only to the $3 million that I accomplished, but a $300 million company at some point.
Yeah. Now, when you say, just for the audience to understand, when you use the terms, you stay broke, everybody understand this is a business concept that we're using where he stays broke and the company starts creating new revenue, new customers. He's reinvesting in the companies and or the multiple flows. He personally doesn't want the money. He wants to build the assets. Okay? It's what I talked about earlier. So a lot of this stuff misses you guys, and you might think, oh, well, this is just a bunch of information. Actually, it's not a bunch of information. It's a simplified version to creating wealth, okay? You take income and you invest in assets, okay? 100% of the income, it's close to 100% is you can. The more, the better, by the way, okay? It's probably gonna be 80% of all your income. This is really the formula. It's an 80-20 rule. 80% of the income should be invested in assets that allow you to get a 40% tax write-off. I'm giving you compressed versions of this today. We're gonna go into detail in 3 weeks for all of you that join us at grantcardone.com/go. Why do I want to do this 80-20 rule? This is what I live off of, and this is what I invest, because this is earned income, and earned income is taxed in Mexico probably at 50%, Canada at 60%, America at 40%. Around the world it gets worse, okay? I want the $100,000 that I earned here, I'm gonna get taxed $32,000 in taxes right here. Okay, I'm going to invest all this 100 or 80,000 of it to get a refund over here, so that I live off the rest of this. I live off the 20 plus I get the refund, because I'm trying to beat the tax man. Okay, and I'm going to use this wheel. This is what wealthy people do. Okay, this is actually not a secret, just so you know. Okay, you're not paying for the secrets. You're paying for me to deliver how I would break this down. So in the case of Raphael wants to take his business from 3 million to 30 million to 3 billion. And he can, by the way. A guy that lives down the street, you probably know him. He lives 4 houses from me, Carlos Slim. What's Carlos worth? 50 billion?
Yeah.
Okay, these people all have the same strategy, folks. You guys just don't have access to the strategy.
90 billion.
If I go on 90 billion. If I go online right now, thanks, Raphael. Great to see what you're doing, bro. You see, it's so inspiring to me. I can go to Mexico. I can go to Mexico City, and I got somebody to drink with. Okay, I got somebody that can actually get away, have some fun. His family can hang out together. Like, I don't need to worry about him being a liability for me. He's winning in life. Okay. Let me see. I want to go to a wealth tips for millionaires, okay? Guess what the first thing that came up? Wealth tips, JP Morgan. It's an ad by JP Morgan, okay? High net worth banking for clients with $750,000. Can you see this? Or I can bring it to you. Okay, I'll bring it to you. So you guys are going to go online and you're going to look for wealth tips. You ain't going to get any. They're going to try to sell you something.
The very first one I came up with?
Yeah.
First tip for wealth tips for millionaires: shift from income to asset-based thinking. Wealthy individuals must focus on less earning and more growing of net assets that cash flow.
Yeah, there you go. But that's a piece of information. How, when, where, what, who with. Like, that's what we're going to share with you at grantcardone.com/go. I come up with Wedmont. Private wealth management, flat fee, $12,500. Okay? You guys are like, $297. Grant Cardone's got a scam going on. It's $297. Don't join. Okay? You want to go to Wedmont? It's $12,500. Okay? Zoo Financial. How to invest $150,000. They want to invest your money for you. Okay? So here's an AI overview. You guys want to go on ChatGPT and learn how to create wealth? Good. How, when, what, who? Who are you going to do it with? Okay? Where are you going to do it?
This is great right here. Don't over-diversify. Diversification is often used to mask a lack of conviction. Wealth is built through concentration and preserved through diversification.
Yeah. Okay? You don't use diversification in order to create wealth. Now, some of you don't know what these terms are. And again, let's just go back to one of the big problems. Okay? Or let's just do this. In the chat, I want you guys to throw in the chat, what's a takeaway that you have right now? What's a takeaway? What's one thing that you came in 133 minutes ago and you were like, bro, that was good. I didn't know that. Okay? One thing you heard. Okay? The 700 streams of income. Yeah. Have you ever heard that? Dude, 700. Why not have 700? If 200 of them broke, you'd have 500 streams of income. If you have 7 streams of income, okay, 7 streams. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, if you have 7 streams of income and the government decides to double the tax on all of them, you now have 3.5 streams. You just got cut in half. Half of these streams were cut off because the government made a decision. If you have 700 streams, how many do you think Jeff Bezos has? Okay, what did he do? I'm not going to build a product. I'm not going to create a product. I am going to service everybody's product. Right? So if you could have more streams, okay? I have 20 million people that follow me. Those are streams of income. What is income? Okay? Now you guys, when I say what is income, and this is what we're going to be clarifying in 3 weeks. What is income? Most of you think income is money. If you said income is money, you would be wrong. Income is people. And people have money. I said it to you, I leaked it out to you a few minutes ago. Who is what you're looking for, not what or how, okay? All right, here's some takeaways. Low spend, high income. Yeah, the target is everything, okay? Rhonda, my targets are 100, too low, too small, okay?
Take it to 0.
Take it to 0. Reduce this situation to 0. And so you're funding these activities. So I'll have $1 million come in. I'll reduce it to 0, push $1 million off into an investment over here, and then I'll have 0 over here. But I just have $1 million that nobody can take away from me. Okay. We'll get into what those investments would be today. Don't use your income to pay bills. Yes, never. Earned income should always be converted to an investment that would produce income that would then use for lifestyle, okay? So it basically goes like this. Okay, we should have this graph, by the way, okay? Oh, you got somebody just showed up? You want to bring them in?
Yeah, let's go to Andrea.
And I got some more takeaways here if you want to just finish that flow of
massive
thinking.
8-step concentration. Concentrate one business, then move on.
Go down, Johnny.
Live broke.
I need to invest most of my income. Yes. Teresa, even if you're only making $3,000 a month, you would literally live off of 20%, 600. You're like, I cannot live off of 600. Yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem. You're like, oh, wow, I don't make enough money. You would basically take $2,400, invest it, and you would figure out how to live off of $600. And you're like, I can't live off of 600. Sure you can. In some countries, $600 makes you rich. You guys you don't have your priorities for wealth creation correct, okay? Flat lines, let me just do a couple of these and I'm gonna turn it over to you.
Okay.
Flat lines always go down, changing the mindset, 700 streams was wild. Probably have more than that. Importance of target and commitment, live off your passive income, don't spend your income. Like, this is great data. Imagine now being part of a network where everybody's indoctrinating each other on this, stay broke. The Tupperware indoctrination. Yeah, dude, it's crazy. You guys are spending money on plastic, okay? Use your income as a new investment and pay less taxes. Grant's rich, and I want some osmosis, okay? Look, guys, you got to get around wealthy people. You cannot get rich staying around poor. Okay, if you live with COVID, you're gonna get COVID. If you live with people that got herpes, you're gonna end up with herpes. If you get around people that are wealthy, guess what? You're going to get wealthy, okay? You are your surroundings. You are an accumulation of the people you hang around. In fact, let's bring someone that is an accumulation of success.
And I just want to say one thing. So Grant just said you got to get around. You got to get around a better group of people. You got to get around a higher quality group of people. For a lot of you, you're like, well, I don't got a high quality group of people. That's one of the reasons why you join communities like ours, is because we are bringing together a community of people. Like in this coaching program that you guys are going to get over the next few weeks before the event, there's literally 2,800 people in that community, all who own businesses. They're trying to create wealth. They're trying to get on their path. It's a built-in community. You don't know 2,800 people. You don't have access to them. And so when you go to grantcardone.com/go, we're going to give you that for the next 3 weeks so that you can start getting connected and start changing the way that you're thinking because of the people that you're going to be around. Andrea.
Hello.
How are you?
Happy to be here.
Good to have you here. Thanks for being here.
I'm great. Yes, thank you for having me.
What do you do for work and where do you live?
So I live in Sydney, Montana, Eastern, and I run a cleaning business, so commercial and residential, ACS Cleaning Services.
Awesome. Now you came to our Wealth Interactive event. When did you attend it?
I attended the live. I didn't attend the Wealth event.
The virtual 2-day event. You attended it. Yeah. So.
Oh, in August. Yeah, back in August.
Okay, so that was almost a year ago. So what happened for you? Where were you at before you went to the event, and what's happened for you since then?
Oh my gosh, I was struggling. I was averaging about $6,000 a month, and then since then I've averaged $20,000 per month, and I just hit my largest last month with $27,000 over.
That's amazing. And what were a couple of the big takeaways that you had from the event that helped contribute to you going to be able to generate more income in your business?
Well, learning how to sell, learning how to manage a team, learning how to be an actual business owner and think broader, think larger than what my brain is thinking in Sydney, Montana, which is a very small town. And you think outside the box. Like Grant said, you need to be around the people that you want, like, successful, that you want to be like. And then having that in my mindset, having that be able to contribute into my business has really helped. I mean, clearly, it really helped my business, and I'm still growing. So
yeah.
What city do you live in?
Sydney, Montana.
Montana.
Sydney?
Montana, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I've never heard of Sydney.
No one will. There's like 6,000 people here. We're super small.
Yeah.
We're in the oil field boom, so I guess there's something like that.
So you came, so the big thing was you, like, one of the sections in this training, we talk about sales a lot. So we're talking about, how to handle leads, how to call leads, how to follow up with leads. And then also on building the team. Now it says you went from solo to 5 employees, so that's great. And it sounds like you got some good tips on that from the event as well. Thank you so much for being here, Andrea, and being a good example.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Sydney.
Andrea.
Andrea. The median household income in Sydney, Montana, is $62,000 a year. Per capita is $41,000 a year, and the household income,
for everybody,
more than one earner, $70,000 in 2023. Okay, so like you got 2 kids, husband and wife earning $70,000 a year. Now, worse than that is who you're going to get information from. Your neighbor makes $70,000. This neighbor makes $45,000. Okay, well, they all have the same problems. They're all stuck with the same solutions, which are no solutions. Oh, got to reduce my expenditures. Oh my God, the tax man is so terrible. Oh, I'm going to vote for Trump. He's going to do this. I'm going to vote for the Biden guy because he's going to do this. And nobody's doing anything for you guys, ever. It's never going to happen. I'm 67 years old. It doesn't matter whether it's a Republican, a Democrat, a left. It doesn't matter. It ain't nobody coming to save you and your family, okay? There's not enough money to do anything, okay? I gave you a piece of data earlier. How low can you go? Okay, you can only go to 0 on your expenses, and you can go to infinity on your income. So which one do you need to be focused on? 95% of your time needs to be spent on income, and only 5% of your time on expenses. Now, and you could spend less time on your income if you invested more of your income to produce more. That's excellent, Jared. Mm-hmm. Fantastic. I should have left you alone longer. Go ahead.
That's
okay. Go ahead.
So we got Rachel. Rachel, where are you coming in from, and what do you do?
Hi, I'm coming in from, well, right now I live in Virginia.
And what do you do?
My company does cybersecurity content development.
Cybersecurity content development.
We do like training, essentially Grant Cardone, Cardone U, but with cybersecurity training.
Awesome, I love that. And so you came to, it says 7 months ago, you came to to the interactive event. And where were you at when you came to that event, and what happened for you since then?
Yeah, so where I was at before then, we were averaging about 65,000 in a month, and since then we're averaging about 130K a month.
So double up. That's awesome. So now
I know, it's really awesome.
And so what were some of the biggest things that you took away that helped you and helped kind of put the gears in motion for you to start generating more revenue in the business?
Yeah, the big pieces that I had never really thought of the way you guys approach it is the ideation phase and kind of like how quickly you can get something marketing, even if you haven't built it yet, and getting that feedback of what you really should be putting your time and attention into was super valuable.
Yeah, so one of the things she's talking about is that we talk about this process that we use to move from an idea to do something and actually putting it into action and getting it done. For a lot of you have an idea and it ends up taking you 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 5 weeks, 8 weeks, maybe never to get it actualized and in place. And we show a process where we can literally move from an idea to promoting it to the marketplace in 24 hours or less. And so it's collapsing that time. Like Grant said, wealthy people are always trying to collapse time. And so that's one of the things you guys are going to get as a part of the interactive event as well. Rachel, what would you say to anybody who's like on the fence? It's a $297 investment. We give them the credit back. It's 100% money back guarantee. If somebody was on the fence right now doing it, what would you tell them?
Honestly, I'd say it's the cheapest. It's so cheap for the value you're going to get out of it, and it has the potential to completely change your business.
You're awesome. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
So, the process that we talk about is this revenue scaling system, right? It starts with your targets. Grant talked about that a bunch today. You got to set your targets, but targets just isn't a number. Targets is, like I was talking to somebody in the chat here, they're like, give me an example of how this works. I'm like, okay, let's say you have a $2 million revenue target and your product's $1,000. Okay, that means you need to sell 2,000 products over the course of the year to hit your $2 million number, right? Now, 2,000 a year is about 38 units a month, and it's about 8 units, 38 a month, and that's what, 8 a week or something like that? So if you've got one salesperson right now, and they're doing 2 deals a week, and you need to hit your 8 target, then you either need to get your one salesperson producing 4 times as much, or if that's their bandwidth, that's all they're capable of producing, then you need to add 3 more people. And so now you take this idea of this target of this $2 million and you start building it down into a plan to know what you need to do today. A goal would be, I want to have a $5 million business in 3 years. The target is, what do I need to do today to move closer to that? When you don't have a tight plan around your targets, what happens is you end up wasting time. And every day when you wake up, like for our team, the way we measure our targets is we know exactly how many phone calls they need to make. We know how many leads they need to have. We know how many calls they need to make. We know based on how many calls they make, how many people they're actually going to speak to. Most of the people that you call aren't going to answer the phone. We know how many appointments they need to set. We know how many presentations they need to make. Based on that, we know how many deals that they're going to close. We know our average deal value. And based on all those numbers attached to those targets, now I can hit my goal of 5 million in 3 years. So a target is the first piece is putting a number in there. The second piece of the target is figuring everything out, right? Now you got to go all the way back down to what do I need to do today? So how many of you guys would like to have a plan where you knew, let's say, what day is today? Saturday. Let's say you put a plan together and Monday you knew exactly how many people you needed to email, exactly how many direct messages you need to send out for prospecting on social media, which is another thing we'll talk about there. You knew exactly how many phone calls you need. Imagine if you had an exact plan for everything. If you're like me and you like to operate off of to-do lists, like you're like, I just need to do these 10 things today, that's what a proper plan will do for you. Then what you have to do is you're moving through this wheel, you have to start getting attention. So how are you getting attention? That's another thing we're going to talk about. How are you going to promote yourself, your business, your offer, your service? How are you going to use these platforms that are available to you to start generating what comes from attention, which is leads? So now you've got a lead. Now what do you do with it? Only 2%, and most of the businesses that we work with, only 2% of the leads that are generated actually convert to a sale. So that means 98% of the leads that you generate are not going to convert to a sale when the lead gets submitted. You have to do something else to it, which is manage it. And so we help you understand what sequences should look like for managing leads so that you can take the 2% you're getting that convert when they submit the lead, and you're adding another 2% through effective lead management, lead nurturing, email sequences, follow-up sequences, win-back sequences, all these things that we'll cover in the training. So now you go from 2% and you get another 2%, what happens to your business?
100%.
Boom, you double. Okay? Now when those leads move through, they hit the sales department. Somebody has to get on the phone and talk to these people. So what are you doing on the sales call to be more effective? We go through a very simple sales process we've taught to millions of people around the world in different industries, products, services, tangibles, intangibles, network marketing, flower shops, dentists. Michael Fieldson, who we're going to have next, he does government contracts. We've helped him with that. So like, what is the process that you're using to actually make sure that when you get on the phone with somebody, they'll give you money? You got to have a process. Just same way you have a financial plan, you've got a target plan, you need to have a sales plan. And then once you do that enough, you set your targets, you promote them, you're generating leads, you're managing leads, you're converting sales, you generate revenue. And you keep operating through that cycle until you generate enough revenue that you're like, I need to start adding people. And that's where you move into building out the management. I'm walking you guys through the things that we're going to teach in this workshop, okay? So you start hiring people. Now, how are you compensating them? How are you leading them? Most of you, if you're a solopreneur, you got a small business, you have zero experience managing people. It's completely different. How do you build your comp plans? How do you get your team engaged? How do you train them? How do you keep them inspired? How do you make sure that they don't spend time and energy and effort learning from you and then go leave and go quit and go to your competitor? Like, these are all the realities that you're going to face in business. And then once you build that system out, the final piece of that process is scaling. Scaling does not mean growing the business. Scaling means taking a business where all of the efficiencies of leads and marketing and sales and management, all of those efficiencies come together to where you're maximized at your efficiency rate. And then you take that and you start incrementally scaling that so that you as the business owner can finally come out of the business and you have something that can grow without you. That is what we teach. That is what we've been teaching people for 15 years. We teach people a system where they can actually build the business into a system using our formula so that they can have a business that can grow without them. For most of you guys, if you left your business for a month, your business would go down to zero.
And can I just say that I want to find Denny in the chat. He's got a question. He wanted something else from the VIP section. I'm happy to give you. Also, there's a couple of people that tried to use the link. It couldn't. Guys, if you don't want to buy anything here, it's not a problem. You don't need to. Okay, I've spent 3 hours, 2 hours, whatever it is. I'm here to help you. We're here to help you, to guide you. Whatever level you want to get involved with next, we have people that spend millions of dollars with us working in their companies, okay? So just so everybody understands what we do here. Did we answer his full question?
No, I'm just gonna bring him up real quick.
Got it. Okay.
He went to the event.
Okay. We have 65,000 people registered for this event. Okay. Let's say 8,000 people end up in our streams today that showed up for it. 57,000 people we're going to follow up with. This is what Jared's saying. If 4% of those people, I told you earlier today, we're going to take this whole production today, edit it, cut it, produce it. That would be 280 people,
2280.
2,280 people out of the 57,000 are going to buy this product today from me. We're here to give you an opportunity to join us. This is our target. Okay, this is my business. I build an audience of people. This is where income comes from. It comes from people. It's always a who. This is free. You come. You don't have to do anything. No problem. I have 57,000 people that are going to do something. If only 4% of those do that, that's 2,200 new customers. Today is not about making you a customer, converting you. Today is about building a relationship and distinguishing between those people that want free and have 90 minutes and those people that want to invest because they're willing to commit time and understanding and confidence and want to network to actually put this to work. Now, if you're one of those people, I'm not one of these people, but if you are one of those people who has instant photographic memory and complete understanding of fractional parts of data and is able to link it together, and you can become a billionaire like that, well, guess what? You're going to come back to me in 3 months and say, bro, that 90 minutes you did with me changed the way I thought. And you're going to become a customer anyway. And you're going to want to know how I'm investing in real estate, how I'm scaling from 1 billion to 10 billion. You might even want to know, hey, Brent, you might want to spend $100,000 with me for 1 hour in my office for me to customize or come up with a way to do some business. I get phone calls from people, I would mention their names right now, and you guys would know all of them, that want me to help them in their company. We just did a deal with a big group recently in the last 3 weeks that you would know his name. He wants us to help market, sell, and expand his company, his private company that's going to go public here in a little bit. So I was in a meeting in Wall Street 2 days ago. These people want to know about my sales and my marketing. This is top of the food chain, as good as it gets, in the banking industry that's interested in expansion of their brand and their brand, their name, and extension to their clients. So I'm merely on a Saturday afternoon offering you an opportunity to do something with us more than today. If it's not that, by the way, it's 97% will do nothing with us today except consume information. It's fine. I am totally happy with that exchange. It works with our formula, but you guys need a similar formula. First, you need a big funnel. That becomes a smaller one. That becomes a smaller one. That becomes even more serious. So it works like this for us, okay? Big picture. We reach 160 million people a year throughout the year. 160,000 of them become a customer at CTTI. I'm just giving you guys the inside as fast as I can today. 160,000 of them buy an educational course. 20,000 of them have become investors at Cardone Capital. 150,000 purchase our 10X health system. These are all different products, all different customers. Some of them cross. 15,000 of them, okay, 15,000 of them do business with us at Cardone Ventures. That's just a couple of the breakdowns. We have 1 million people that are on Cardone University. Every day they're on this product using an online platform to educate their sales team, their marketing team, their leadership team on motivation, speaking, delivering speeches, creating audiences, building audience, marketing, advertising. Like, this is just my funnel, okay? My funnel, by the way, is less than 1% effective. But 99%, all of them are worth the same amount of money to me, by the way. The people that don't buy from me are worth as much money to me. All you guys that don't take advantage of today are worth the same amount of money as the people that spend money with me. The difference is, I get to have a relationship with the people that do. Okay? I get to know
Michael.
Watch this. Watch the value of me hooking up with somebody else that is successful. Michael, how you doing?
Let's unmute.
See, I think this difference is the relationship is everything.
Yeah.
That all you guys, the 160 million, all paid us the same money last year. Go ahead, Michael.
Hey, Grant, great to see you today. Thanks for everything you're doing for the community. It's amazing.
Thank you, Michael.
Michael, you want to just tell everybody real quick what you do for work?
Yeah, so I'm a defense contractor. We're located here in Tampa, Florida, and upstate New York as well. We're about 30 employees. We develop new technologies for special operations in the Army, Air Force as well.
And when you came to our virtual event, where were you guys at for revenue before you went through the program? Where were you at?
Yeah, we were about $250,000 per month.
So about $3 million a year. And how long ago did you go to the event?
That was last June. We went to that.
Oh, so it was a year ago. And where are you guys at now?
We just crossed $400,000 per month right now.
So now, so you basically went from $3 million to $5 million bucks a year.
Yeah.
And what were some of the biggest things that you took from the interactive event, the virtual event, that that made a difference for you?
Sure. Yeah, the interactive really helped me set clear targets, think bigger, and know where to start when I wanted to scale the business.
And what would you tell somebody? A lot of people here are like, I'm just getting started. I'm trying to figure this money thing out. I don't know if this will work for me. Like what would you tell somebody who was on the fence about doing something, about doing this?
Yeah, it's a complete no-brainer. I mean, there's so much value. We put our team on the wealth video that you guys are offering there. The 7-figure accelerators are great. I mean, there's so much value in here. It's really a no-brainer.
And
how many employees do you have, Michael?
33, Grant.
Have you grown since you started with us?
Well, honestly, we were overspending on payroll, so we really just kind of scaled to make us more scalable,
more efficient.
What's that?
More efficient.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're about ready to move into a new facility in Tampa. It's much larger, and it's going to set us up for some government contracts. So we're ready to explode.
See, I wouldn't know Michael. If we didn't do this, guys, we wouldn't know this, okay? Basically what I'm using T to get QR, okay? I'm using a transaction to introduce me to a quality relationship. Now, that quality relationship goes all the way up from free. Free is a price, by the way. Today is a price. You guys paid a price to be here, your time, okay? I use free to bring in a relationship. I use T, a transaction, 297, to create a more quality relationship. And then I have other things that we offer along the way that increase the value of that relationship and basically allow. How much money have you spent with us, Michael, on everything you've ever bought?
Well, I've got 400 in Cardone Capital now, so everything's probably close to 8.
Yeah, so he's invested 400 grand with us in Cardone Capital. That makes him a partner, not a customer. See what I'm doing, guys? All of you can use this formula. Basically, we use information to create a relationship, and then we use a transaction to get a better, more quality relationship. You cannot have a quality relationship without a transaction. There has to be a transaction. If I give information to a super wealthy guy and there's no way to transact, we can't extend the relationship. Now I have to increase the value exchange, okay? I have to increase the value exchange and offer him something else as he grows. The billionaire comes in, I say, hey man, I got something here for $297. He's like, nah. So I have to have other buckets, other opportunities for him to have a quality relationship with something that has a value exchange. So not only has Michael invested 400 grand to make his company better, he's invested $400,000 as investments. Here he goes from a customer to a partner, and now because of his success, he becomes a friend and a testimonial to the rest of you that might look similar to him, sound similar to him, or maybe you're in the defense business and you're like, bang. So I'm using transactions to build relationships. Most of you have it inverted and perverted, basically. You try to do relationships to become transactions, and they don't work. Okay? They don't work. Watch these two dudes right here. A father and son team.
Dom and Zach.
I know these guys. They've been on a cruise with us. They've been at my home together. They funded our charity, the Grant Cardone Foundation. Super, super successful people. Guys, great to see you here today.
Grant, Gary, real happy to be here.
Good to have you guys. Just tell everybody where you're from and what business you're in.
My name's Dom Delmonico. I'm here with my son, Zach. We're out of New York and soon to be down south of Miami as well. And we're happy to be here.
Commercial construction, building car dealerships, parking facilities, recycling.
So that
Yeah,
you guys.
for
What's the first thing, guys, that y'all did with me? Where did you first hear about me?
YouTube, online.
Yeah, free. That was free, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
and then what happened?
Straight to GrowthCon from there.
You went to an event. See, again, you have to have a big inventory of offers. And we did an event. What did y'all spend on that event? Do you remember?
Well, we came in with regular seats, and before the event even started, I made sure Veronica got us diamond seats. We want to be up front.
Okay, now that's why we upgrade people. Just so you guys know, some of you upgraded to $27 to a VIP seat. It's not about the $27 for us. It's about offering Don and his son where he wants to sit. He didn't want to sit in a certain place. He wanted to give me money. It wasn't even about the money going to me. He wanted to sit in a certain place, right? So I invested. Yeah. I'm sorry, Dom.
I was. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. No. Go ahead. And then what did you do after that?
Well, the funny part is, I was actually Zach introduced me to GrowthCon, and I said, "What is this?" He took us here, and then I was actually fighting to give my money because I knew what you were offering. I wanted to be right up front.
Yeah.
So. That was great.
And where? So you guys, this was 4 years ago, probably 5 years ago.
That's correct. Yeah.
And where was your guys' business at when you came into this whole ecosystem?
For 3 to 4 years, I was jumping from 15 million to 18 million, back to 16, and I couldn't get past that $18 million mark if my life depended on it. I worked harder, and I couldn't get any further.
So you guys reach, what he's talking about is something that we'll talk about in the interactive. It's about scaling breakpoints, predictable points in every business where the business will stop growing. It will literally break, and you have to re-engineer the business for the next level of growth. We restructure the teams, get new technology, add key management staff. So we have a systemized path to do this from zero all the way to $125 million a year in revenue.
What are y'all doing now? In gross?
Well, this year with 24 million, we went to 24 million. This year again, we're doing 24 million, and we're actually scaling and going down south. So within the next 2 years, we're going to double that.
And then, how much have you given our foundation to help kids?
At least $250,000.
Yeah. See, the foundation is a way to help other kids. This is all about relationships, folks. You need an ecosystem of people committed, a network of like-minded people. So I end up doing things where we get to spend time. Dom, how old are you?
54.
How old?
54.
Yeah, so me and him can hang out, have a cigar together. I can hang out with his son. We can get pictures. This is what all of you should be seeking to do. Not just build a business that makes profits, but build a business and relationships that make a difference.
Dom, and Zach, for both of you guys, I got a question. Y'all have invested a pretty significant amount of money, hundreds of thousands of dollars, probably knocking on the door of 750 grand or something like that. Why do y'all keep spending money with us?
Zach, you want to answer that? Because I'm just excited, to be honest with you. For me, every time I'm around you guys, it makes me want more, and I'm doing more for myself, my family, and my people that work for me. So, and Zach,
yeah, 100%, same thing. There's always a bigger return, and the energy, the mindset, just the culture and the family that you guys have created, the community, that's 100% everything.
And in New York, there's a lot of negativity. So when I'm with you guys, there's always positivity, and it makes me strive. No, it's true, and we strive harder. I love it. Love you guys.
You guys are awesome. I hope to see you back down in Miami again soon. Thanks for being
guys.
here. Thanks for taking the time.
I was in New York. I was in New York Thursday, and like Dom says, there's a lot of negativity there. Mm-hmm. Then you get with the right 2 or 3 people there, and then they're like, "Let me tell you what's really going on." I'm like, wow. I went from 1 million people that look negative walking up and down the streets, paying too much for everything, to being a building that's probably worth a couple $2 billion. And they own 3 of them within the same block. The Bank of America building. You get in the right room with the right people, and all of a sudden they're expanding my mind. So that's the kind of people we want to be with. Thanks, guys, for being here. Appreciate you. Okay, so we're inviting all of you to join us, not just us, but people like Dom and Zach and the other people that you've met today
Andrea,
and heard
Michael,
from.
Rachel.
We want to increase your network, folks. Your network is your net worth, okay? Your network is your net worth, okay? And your commitment to creating wealth, you're the only thing we cannot do for you is the commitment part. I'm glad everybody's here. I'm glad everybody came here, okay? All the people that didn't show up today, I'm sad for them because they could have spent the day with me and they would be inspired and excited right now. Some of you had trouble going to the link. Sherry, I just texted you a message, but some of you said you had trouble finding the link. The link, the cleaned up link is grantcardone.com/go. grantcardone.com/go.
And then there's a little box right above the button that you have to check in order to check out. There's a little box you got to check there. So
what does that box say?
You agree to the terms and conditions. Yeah.
Okay. For all of you that are not sure what you get, it's 2-day full interactive training. 2 days full interactive training. Okay, we follow this workbook right here. We're going to download this to you so you'll have something to walk through the exact system. If any of you felt like today was just a sales pitch for that program, I'm sorry, okay, but you're not paying attention to the data.
You're walking through raindrops here.
I just spewed 3 hours of content. You can't put it all together in 3 hours. I said 90 minutes. We're double that right now. I apologize. You didn't get what you wanted. Hey, I'll give you your money back. Okay, since you paid nothing, here's nothing back. Okay, but if you didn't get anything out of this, that some of that's on you. Okay, I'm here to help you. I would love to have a relationship, a quality relationship with people that want to do big things. I want to do big things. I want to get around people that do big things. I want to get around people that make decisions quickly. And I want to do business with people that want to figure out how to do more together, not less together. So we invited you, and we think we made it very, very easy and simple to do 2 days, fully interactive. You don't have to travel. You can live in Singapore or Cincinnati. Boom, we're going to deliver it to you. Every seat's front row. Every seat is live interactive. Every seat will be involved in breakouts and role plays so that we set targets. You're going to set the targets there. If you don't understand the target, we're going to come after the breakout and we're going to answer Q&A about the breakout. This is included. You pay nothing for this, okay? The website, grantcardone.com/no. Go. Not no. Go. I'm ready to go. You also get a one-on-one strategy call today. If you want it, it's free. You're going to get on the call with a coach, and you're going to clarify what your targets are and what your blocks are. That's what you're doing in that call. Hey, what's my target and what's my blocks? Where do I want to go? Where am I at? And what are my blocks? The third thing you're going to get, and you're going to start on this after the call, is our money and finance course. A money and finance training. You own this for life. We don't take it away from you, lifetime access. You can share it with your team. You can share it with your kids. You can share it with your spouse. This is not something, warning, this is not something that you listen to once. You will not get this once, okay? This is not like reading a book or having a book read to you. This is a program where I'm talking to you about money and finance, particularly about unindoctrinating you. You know, you've been brainwashed, folks, and I need to go in and scrub the brain and create a wealth brain, all right? Also, you're going to get the seven-figure coaching calls. This is 3 calls. What day is that?
Yeah, so these happen on Tuesdays at 5 p.m. The 2 most powerful levers that you can pull in your business to make money are sales and marketing. Those 2 things, period. They're things you can literally change instantly. You can learn something today and you can use it today that will get you another deal and make money. You're going to get access to 3 of those calls because there's 3 weeks until the event. So Tuesdays at 5 p.m., myself, our VP of sales, our chief revenue officer for Cardone Ventures, another one of our businesses, we all come on that call. Those are the only things that we're talking about. They're about 90 minutes. We teach for about 30 and then just do Q&A on sales and marketing and how you can generate more revenue in your business.
Also, private networking group. You'll have access to everybody that made a commitment today to have like-minded interest in wealth creation and starting so that if you live in Sydney, Montana, and there's only 6,000 people there, you now have access to a new group of people that are interested in this concept. Folks, you cannot do anything by yourself. You can't. You're limited. Jesus did not do what he did by himself. He had a team. You need a team. Everyone needs a team. You need a network of like-minded people moving in the same direction. Also, you get the 7-figure, the money finance, the strategy call. You get a sales interactive invitation where we're going to talk about sales, revenue creation, and marketing, how to market so you build a massive audience. Why do you want to build a massive audience? Because you have a commitment now to the who, which creates the money that you're allowed to create the wealth, okay? You cannot do this without people. This is not a one-man show, right? We give you all this for $297, and then we give you a credit for $297 at our store. That means you basically paid nothing. You pay $297, I give you my credit at my store for $297. It's virtually free, and if that's not enough, we made it a no-brainer, so it's 100% risk-free. If you're not happy with it, when we deliver it in 3 weeks, we'll give you your money back. Or for whatever reason, we'll give you your money back. No questions asked, we'll give you the money back. I want you to join us. I hope you join us. We're going to take this down in 10 minutes at 3:05 Eastern Standard Time. We're going to remove this. So go to grantcardone.com/go, grantcardone.com/go. If you want to take advantage of the call like Scott has, Melinda, Greg, Stacy, Kelly, congratulations, Julia, David Foster, congratulations for taking advantage of this. Lisa Chapman, great to have you guys part of our ecosystem so that we can have a quality relationship, okay? This is what I want. I have 160 million people a year that see my content. That is 1/8 of a billion people. I told this same story. Yeah, I told this same exact story to one of the biggest banks in the world Thursday. I have 160 million people. How many of them buy from you? 350,000 of them every year become a client, a customer, a partner, an investor. It could be $1, it could be $1,000, it could be $297, it could be like Dom's got $400,000 or Michael's got $400,000 invested with me. Maybe you put money in our charity and we help kids, okay? We reach millions of kids every year. Now my point is the other 156 million people that don't buy anything from me, they're customers too, folks. These are customers too, okay? They all paid us the same amount of money. They're all worth the same amount. The difference is these people I get to have a relationship with. They elected. Only you can make this decision. I want to have a relationship with Grant and his team. I want to get to know him better. I want to get to know what they do better. I want to get involved with these people. I want to continue my education. Show the evolution of the student or the entrepreneur, the wealth creator. I want to continue. You're making a commitment today. I want to continue the evolution from kid to student to part-time to full-time to manager to executive. I want to continue to grow my mind, my wealth, my relationships. Money's about who. It's not about what or how. And I think a lot of you think every day about what do I need to do? How long do I need to do it? What am I going to get paid to do it rather than who am I meeting? How am I changing my life? Okay? I work 7 days a week. Tomorrow, and maybe you don't want to work 7 days a week, but I do. I want to work 7 days a week on creating quality relationships for my life. Tomorrow, I'm going to spend time with some people right here in Miami talking about a deal that we could do. I'll spend a couple hours. I homeschool our kids. I spend more time with our kids than 90% of all parents. I promise you, I personally spend a lot of time with my children. It is a priority in my life. The rest of my time I want to spend with cool people that are doing well. We want to help you create wealth, okay? Like that's what we're doing here. This, for you. Now what's the number? What's the target? What's the strategy? Who do you need to meet? What do you need to learn? Is it sales? It can only be a certain number of things. Is it sales? Top line of a financial statement, no matter where you are in the world. The financial statement works like this. It's not very complicated. Income, Another word for income, you've heard all these today, by the way. You've heard revenue, GI, you've heard sales. That's what income is, okay? The more this goes, then I got expenses, okay? In between here, I got executives to pay, people to pay, investments to make, manufacturing, and then I have this, profit. How much money you earn right here determines where you go, how you travel, how you eat, how good a health you have. Don't kid yourself. You can't buy everything with money. You can buy your health care with money. Medicare's broken, Social Security's broken, the government's broken, money's broken. Bro, it's all broken. If you guys think somebody's going to take care of you later, you're wrong. Okay? You are responsible for your income statement. Whether you're Bob and you're 17 years old, you have an income statement. No income, expenses, negative. If you're a family, you got a household, you got $60,000 coming in, $60,000 going out, negative. You have no money to invest. You're never going to create wealth for yourself. You're earning $460,000 a year. You work at Facebook. You're spending $460,000 a year. It's zero. You're negative. You're not going any place. You can complain about it all you want. Blame it on Joe Biden, blame it on Donald Trump, blame it. Okay, all this time you're spending on excuses rather than how do I create wealth for myself and my family? We want to help you. 32 million millionaires in America. There's 3,000 billionaires on this planet. They're doing something different than you are. And what it is they have a wealth plan. How do I get there? Who do I need to know? What do I need to learn? Okay? We want you to know the material, not learn the material. There's a big difference between what you know, what you heard, what you learned, what you read, okay? The only one of those that matters is what do you know about wealth? So what do you know? No. What do I know for sure? I know this tablet is white. I know for sure it's got lines. I would bet my life on it. Every penny I have, I would say, that's white and it's got lines on it. I know for sure that's true. Okay? Do you know where your $1 million or $10 million or $100 million are going to come from? Do you know the plan, the exact plan? Do you know who you need to meet to get there? If you don't know, you're not sure, and if you're not sure, you won't act. Because if I don't know, my confidence goes down. Okay? Do you know how to make a pitch? Do you know how to make a sale? Do you know how to close a deal? Do you know how to negotiate? Do you know how to follow up? Do you know what your people do? Do you know how to train and educate your people? Do you know how to attract good people? Do you know how to run an ad, market? Do you know how to do a landing page? All these things have to be learned. I just wanted to introduce you to the most important thing, and that's this. The idea that you're committed, okay? The next step in your commitment is to get on this program right here, the Money and Finance 3-hour course. We'll download it to you instantly. Literally, you'll hit the link, grantcardone.com/go, and this is going to be your box. You're going to start listening to this today. It's 3 hours. The perfect time to pick that up is right now. Like sometime today, get on this program while you're somewhat excited. Okay, real quick, we're going to take some Q&A real quick. We're going to close this down in 8 minutes. Boom, down, done, okay? If you're going to grab it, grantcardone.com/go. 100% money back guarantee. You have nothing to lose, zero. If you're not happy, bang, we'll bang you back with $297, no questions asked, okay?
All right, let's.
Takeaways in the chat. Takeaways. 3 things you heard today that you love. 3 things you heard today that you love, okay? And then we're going to open up some Q&A while you guys fill the chat up.
Let's go to Sharon Baker. Sharon, welcome. Make sure you're unmuted there.
Hi, guys. I am so excited. You just don't know. I am a business entrepreneur myself. Been doing 25 years of helping small business owners with finance and how to get there. It's minimum as reconciliation. I got like all the bad small business owners, Grant, and I just need to be in a room with you so I can scale my business services. I've been doing it so long. I am not a W-2 employee. I am not for hire. I just need to be in the right room with the right people, and I know how to make it happen. I'm like you. I work 7 days a week.
Let's go.
On time. 12 hours.
Sharon,
and I'm at 0 all the time, so I'm killing myself.
Sharon, Well, what we want to do is you're going to continue to be at 0, but we're going to get you to where you have investments they guarantee you're not at zero anymore. So what is your
And I've been through a divorce. I lost it all. I had it all. So I am ready to
Let's go.
And I'm ready to do the 80-20. So we.
Good. Well, I'll see you in 3 weeks. You're going to download this right now, okay? Let's go to the next question.
Okay.
Thank you, Sharon.
Let's go to Isaiah.
Isaiah, real quick, what was your big takeaway today?
Energy management, mindset containment, and unfiltered approach to your success.
You mean because I show you what I'm doing?
Exactly.
Yeah, dude.
So there was no gatekeeping. So that was amazing to experience.
Yeah.
You gave us the crumbs that you could without divulging too much.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
I liked it. It was enough for me to grasp at.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you being here. What is your question?
My question for you is, how would you structure a business so that your marketing, fulfillment, and sales processes each run independently but still reinforce each other for compounding the growth?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't run them independently. I would run your ads to force the sale. The ad should set up the sale, including the number it went to. So. Okay. You know, you need to make that marketing should be it should be so clear that people call it an ordering. Like right now, we're not making sales on this product right now. People are calling the office and they might have a question, but they're just taking an order. You need to get your product, your marketing lined together. Congruency, so that the caller says, I just have a question, but I'm ready to go. And most ads do not do that.
The idea is that at every touch point the customer has, you're having the same conversation with them. Like the process is congruent the whole way through. It's not like you've been marketing and advertising for pizza and then you bring them into the pizza restaurant and then there's sushi inside and they're like,
Cohesion is the key.
Yeah, so you got to link everything together and just make sure that all of the communication from, again, ad copy, ad creative, landing page, follow-up email sequences, appointment show-up sequences, like everything is just hand in glove put together and working together. And then the script for the call when the team gets on has all of that baked into it as well.
They come in, they see the pizza. Now, it doesn't mean there can't be sushi there. But they can't walk in looking for pizza and the first thing they see is sushi. Thank you for being
here. Right? This call was this call, but that's there, right? The money
exactly. So everything I told you I'm going to do in 3 weeks, I need to do. Yeah. If I don't do that, I'm not going to build my customer list. Thank
you so much, Greg.
Yeah, thank you, brother. I can keep building the top of the funnel no matter what, right, folks. You can build the top of the funnel forever and ever. You know, you do that by being successful because more people want to follow Ronaldo than other players because he wins. Okay, let's go to the next.
Let's go to Jimmy.
The next takeaway. Let's look for takeaways.
You want to do takeaways now?
Yeah. Go ahead, Jimmy. Jimmy, what's up?
Hi, Grant. I appreciate you getting to me. I am a traditional financial advisor. Started out in the tax preparation business about 25 years ago. Built that up and sold it alongside my financial planning business. But so now I am in the traditional stocks, bonds, mutual funds, annuities, investments. I'm really looking to scale. I've been kind of that $1 million solo producer, and I'm really looking to get to that, 10x that scale. I know I need staff and really need help in that area so I can become, a more philanthropist and a bigger player in the game. I've been holding myself back and really want to get that growth.
Well, dude, like you're in a space where money is endless. There's all these examples of all these companies that have made trillions of dollars without exaggeration. That's not even hyperbole. Like we just got to change your mindset. Like we got to change your targets. Your targets are just wrong. So these small targets are the small targets, and I'm just speaking from personal experience. They're just selfish. Okay, mm-hmm. They're scared. They're scared targets because I don't want to dream too big because I'm gonna be disappointed. Guess what? You're gonna dream too small and you're gonna be disappointed.
Yeah.
It's like, what end of the disappointment do you want to eat? You want to eat like, I dreamed too big and I came up short, but I'm rich. or I dream too small and I came up short and I end up poor. So there's no downside to what we're doing. Everybody later looks up in our ecosystem, and it's big. It's a monster. I have a monster audience. We're not teaching motivation here. We're teaching strategies to create wealth, and then you get motivated. So thanks for being here. I look forward to working with you some more.
Thanks, Grant.
And the financial sector is one we're getting ready to enter in hard.
Yeah.
You guys are getting ready to see Cardone Training Technologies and our education business slip into the
Cardone Wealth Advisors.
Registered investment advisor business in a monster way. We just started a company called Cardone Wealth Advisors, and you're going to see us blow this thing up. So
James, you're
hang
up,
on.
bro.
What up, Big J?
Hey guys, how you doing today?
Good to
brother.
see you, man.
Man, so good to have you. Man, you're always dropping some great knowledge on me. Bless you, by the way. Grant, this has been powerful for me. A little bit about myself. I started out in the real estate club, but since then I've also started developing and growing my business. I signed up with the Cardone U Plus coaching recently. You guys have blown us up already. We're doing great. Really excited for the future. But the biggest takeaway for me is the targets and the planning and the targets that you've put together here. Which leads into my question. For ad spend, how much per income should I be spending on ads? Because right now we're mostly just doing cold calls, but we're not really doing any ads.
Yeah, a good number to it depends. James, it depends on the margin of your business, but if you're between 8 and 15% of revenue, that's probably a good benchmark to operate off of. Some businesses that are online businesses, like they'll spend 30, 40, even 50% of their revenue because they've got really, really high margins. But you're really more of a marketing business at that point than an actual business. And so I would try to target the 8 to 15% range off of revenue.
Okay, great. No, this has been super powerful. I've really enjoyed. I learned a lot this weekend. So
thank you, brother. Look forward to seeing you in 3 weeks. I hope you join us over there.
Absolutely. I already signed up. Yep.
Awesome, man. Appreciate you. Yes, ma'am.
Jean, hello. I'm a registered nurse. I became a health and life coach because I got tired of seeing people die. Yet I got burned out because I was doing my regular career plus teaching people on the side. So when I saw the tax bill of the money that I had to pay, I started crying and I stopped business. So I decided that I had to educate myself more on finances. So here I am. And my question to you is, so besides you learning from the ones that haven't done it before and contracting the right people to work for you, which other ways do you come up with time to increase your income?
Yeah, so replace my income?
To do what with your income? Unmute her.
To increase your income every time.
Good. So I wouldn't go to an accountant, and I definitely wouldn't go to the tax man. I see a lot of you guys spending money. $3,000, $6,000, going to advice to someone that does not know about money. They know maybe how to record your taxes, or they know how to account for where it goes on the farm, but they don't know anything about money. If you guys want to learn about money, you got to go meet people with money. You cannot, the best tax advice I get is from the new people that I'm meeting that make more money. The opportunities are come from people that are doing deals, not people that are recording deals. So many of you, if we did a financial plan for you, we'd find out you're spending money on stuff that can never produce any money. Impossible. It won't build an audience. It won't save you money. It won't be but you're spending money. You're spending money to get advice. Like you got advice on an LLC. You don't need an LLC. You need income. Then you worry about the LLC. Okay? It's S corporation, LLC, it's a trust. None of that matters in the beginning except to the tax guy selling it to you. What you need in the beginning is money, okay? So we got to get you multiple flows. That could include who you're talking to, but more importantly, we didn't go into this today. How many different price points do you have for a customer to come at you? I have so many price points, okay? I have free. I have free with a credit, meaning free and a credit. That's sticky. I have today's offer, $297 and a credit with a refund. That's a different offer. It's an opportunity, okay? It takes someone that has no trust in themselves, reduces it to zero, and they're like, I can do this, okay? Now, if you guys don't trust me, you will not buy this even if it's free. With a credit to give you your money back. You still won't do it. What nobody can understand is, why would you watch somebody you don't trust? Okay, so now the thing is, you didn't do it because you don't trust yourself. Most people simply don't trust themselves. But Dom is not going to buy a $297 product. So I need something above that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dom bought a $425,000 product.
That was his first purchase.
Yeah.
So you have to have, this is a major problem in companies. They don't have other products for people to offer. Apple Computer, they do this great, but they don't have a $40,000 product or $400,000 product. That's not what their business is built on. Goldman Sachs, you have to have $20 million in an account. If you want a checking account over there, they'll give you one. You'll be on a waiting list, and it might not be enough to put the money in there. They don't even care. They're not calling you. So you're going to need, to answer your question, I need a bigger audience, and I need then to insert products along the way, including recurring products. So many of you maybe see me do, and it's in the Millionaire booklet. Let's make sure we include the Millionaire booklet in this. Yeah. Okay? You've seen me break down $1 million. How do you eat $1 million? You know, you can eat it 1 time, 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times, or 10,000 times. That's the only way to do $1 million until you start doing recurring. Okay? So this simple little book right here, you can read this book in 10 minutes, okay? Like, that book has made millionaires, believe it or not. That book is a bestseller in Taiwan. So this is one way to do it, okay? Now, another way to do, how do you make $10 million with the same plan? You get one person to do you get 10 people to do $83,000 a month. You get 10 people to do $83,000 a month every month. Well, is there 10 people on planet Earth that would give me $83,000 a month? Yes, for something. I don't know what it is. Or 100 people would give me $8,333. This would be 100 businesses, gives me $8,333 a month for 12 months, recurring. This is a recurring program. And guess what? I make $10 million. I don't know what the product is yet. But you see, what you guys do, if you're a registered nurse, you went and figured out the product first based on what you know and what you can do, and you weren't thinking outside the box. But there's going to be somebody in the nursing business. My friend Bob Duggan is in biotech, but he's not in biotech. His degree is not in biotech. But he's made, what do you think he's made out of biotech?
I mean, he sold his last business for $22 billion. So they've done billions and billions.
This guy's done hundreds of billions of dollars in biotech. He has no degree in biotech.
He had a cookie business.
He's an outsider in biotech.
He had a cookie business.
He had a cookie business and a lawnmower business, okay? Yeah. I am in the real estate business. I am an outsider in real estate. I've done $5 billion in the Florida marketplace. I came from California. I should not have been able to do that. I came from the outside in. Outsiders make markets. So we're inviting you guys inside now, okay? Thank you for being here. I look forward to working with you. And we're going to take you from registered nurse to a beast. And all the nurses are going to be inspired by what you become. This is the evolution, folks. The evolution. You come in, you learn a job, you get good at the job, then you evolve into being something else in that space. I hope you join us, guys. We're going to close this up in 2 minutes now. I've been saying that for a second. So 1 minute and 45 seconds, just shut it down. My name's Grant Cardone. I'm here to help you. We want to build quality relationships with people. For all of you that have been here today already, I want to thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a bunch of takeaways. I hope this is a game changer for you. But for those of you who are not, that are going to join us in 3 weeks, grantcardone.com/go. I invite you to come in. It's risk-free. It's literally no risk, okay? And we're going to start the onboard process right now, by the way. I'm going to close this down. And for all of you that took advantage at grantcardone.com/go, we're not going to wait until next week to do this or start this. We're going to onboard you to give you even more confidence about what are you looking for in this material when you go there? Where do you find your materials? What should you be focused on first? Maybe you have a question about your call. Your call didn't happen yet. When do you get that? Everything will be answered in the onboarding. It's going to start here in, they're telling me 6 minutes from right now. They're going to start the onboarding. Again, if you haven't come in, grantcardone.com/go. This is about wealth creation. It's about how to 10x your business, 10x your income, 10x your friends, 10x your net worth, 10x everything in your life. I think this probably says 10x life, right?
It does, yeah.
Because that's what we're doing today. Okay? The only reason to grow your business is to 10x your life. The only reason to grow your customers is to 10x your life. Some of the best people in my life today were not friends first. They were customers first that became friends. Some of my best friends were a customer, an investor, then became a partner, and then became a friend, okay? Like, that's how it worked. And so come in, folks. You're looking around. Watch the wealthy people who they're hanging out with. Mark's hanging out with Elon. Elon's hanging out with Trump. Not so much anymore, but maybe again one day. And Trump's hanging out with whoever he wants to. Like, they're having transactions, they're doing business, then they become friendly, they're hanging out, okay? Come hang out with the Cardone group. Grant Cardone, my wife Elena Cardone, my 2 kids, we're here to help you, support you. I got Jared on our team. We got 260 employees right here. We're here to help you, support you, answer your questions. We're there to be with you when the shit hits the fan, when it gets good, when it gets bad. We're here to support you and help you. Next 3 weeks, we're together every week for 3 weeks. You have the 3-hour course to start with. We're going to onboard in a few minutes, and then 3 weeks from now, we're going to do 2 full days. You cannot buy this anywhere else in the world. You can't go to my website and buy this. We made it as cheap as we could make it, as low as I could go, okay, to at least give you a little skin in the game. You put $297 on your card. I give you a credit for $297, and then I give you a 100% money back guarantee if you're not excited when we deliver it, okay? You get a workbook. You'll get to keep the workbook. We'll go through the workbook. We're going to do a bunch of interactive stuff. The technology we use is phenomenal. Also, we give you the wealth creation formula, and we give you the 10X book. You can keep both of those things as well as a hat, a water bottle, and a few other cool little items, okay? Thank you so much for being here today. Anything else, Jared, you want to say before we close
Onboarding
out?
is going to start immediately after. If you guys have questions, call the office. If you need a payment plan, if you need whatever, just call the office, talk to somebody. 310-777-0255, 310-777-0255. The 2 days is going to be amazing. We're going to unload on you. You're going to learn a lot of things that you can immediately implement in your business that will help start you generating more income, so that you can have a confidence in your ability to go out and create wealth. We're going to get a wealth plan built for you. Like we can help you with this entire process. But the first step is, like Grant said, you just got to get committed. You got to show up. You got to get close to us, and then just go along for the ride.
And if you don't have a business, he talked about 10X in your business, but when he's saying your business, you have a business. You are the business. You are the creator of your dreams and your wealth and prosperity and your future. And if you're not creating on it, you're watching somebody else create it. So whether you know it or not, you're already a company. You don't have to be an LLC or an S corporation to be a company. You are a company. You are an institution. You are your future you. Unless you're just going to stay you, okay? But we're here to support you in becoming the best version of yourself. It's what you want for you, your parents want for you, your kids want for you, your husband wants for you. Everybody wants you to be a better version of yourself, but most importantly, you do. And until you make a commitment to becoming that best version, you won't. Okay, it's free will, folks. God ain't gonna intervene on you stopping you from the best version of you. He'll just sit there and watch. Well, that's a fool. What a dumbass that is. I created everything. All you guys got to do is go, right. That's me. I am. I'm gonna have that. That's for me. I deserve it. Now we got to put a plan together so you know how to get from where you are to where you deserve to be. God bless you guys. Be great. I'll see you guys on the onboarding, grantcardone.com/go. It'll start in 3 minutes. grantcardone.com/go. This offer will not be offered again. So if you want it for the $297, just so you know, if you see an email in about 10 days, we're going to be offering that course, this entire course today. We're going to cut out all the offers and just give the data. It'll be about $997. You can buy the entire recording for $997. So if you see an email from me saying take advantage of it now, that's what I do. Okay? Thanks a lot for being here. God bless.
All right, everybody. Hello. How's everybody feeling after that amazing webinar? It's so good to see all of you. My name is Christine, and I will be guiding your guys' 10X Wealth System Interactive onboarding session today. It's going to be my intention to empower you guys to understand how the program works and how to use the training to solve your problems and increase your revenue. So guys, grab some notebooks, papers, pens, go ahead and make sure you're taking notes, and let's go over exactly what's included in your program. Before I do that, I am going to share my screen with you guys so we can go right along with the presentation. Everyone can see the screen. It's all good to go. Perfect. So there are going to be key parts to the Wealth System Interactive Package program. You're going to have a 10X Wealth System Interactive virtual 2-day international live event that's going to be hosted on June 28th and 29th. You're also going to get a one-on-one strategy session, a money and finance training course, the weekly 7-figure coaching calls on Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time leading up to the event. So that's going to be 3 calls. You're also going to get a private networking group, a 10X toolbox, and a $297 store credit. So I will cover each and every one of these points individually for you guys. And at the end, we're going to open it up for a Q&A. So please make sure that your questions at the end are about the program itself. If you have any other business-related questions, please make sure that you keep those for the calls, and we will go ahead and answer them there. So moving along, the very first thing that's going to be going on with your guys' interactive package is the 10X Wealth System event. Now, this is key part number 1. It's a 2-day event that you can attend from the comfort of your home. The event will be held on June 28th and 29th, and all of you who purchase the program get a front row seat. So please treat this as an in-person event, as we want you to stay focused and absorb all the amazing information Grant has to offer. You will have a tech check the week of the event with our team to ensure that everything is working properly on your guys' end, and you will receive a virtual workbook that you can edit. But make sure that you download and save the changes to your computer before closing it out. We're going to be able to go ahead and reiterate all this information to you guys a week before or a few days before the event starts, so no need to worry. But the good news is that our team will send out the answers to the workbook in case you do miss anything. Now, the event is not recorded, so please make sure you do attend live. And if you have any questions about the dates or any discrepancies, please go ahead and email our office at chat@grantcardone.com. You can also upgrade your guys' ticket to a VIP ticket for the 2-day event. This upgrade grants you access to a private Zoom room, just like today, with Grant Cardone and our team, along with opportunities to participate in a live Q&A during lunch, just like we did now. To upgrade, simply drop a 10X in the chat, and our team will get reaching out to you guys shortly. Perfect. Key part number 2 that what comes with your guys' offer is a one-on-one strategy call. So with this purchase, you guys are going to have the opportunity to schedule a one-on-one call with a member of our team. During this call, we will help you assess where you're at and discuss the best ways to move forward. Many of you might have already booked your call, and some of you may have it scheduled for today and the following weekday. But if you need help booking your guys' strategy call, you can find the link in your welcome email, or you can email us at chat@grantcardone for any assistance. Awesome. Moving along, key part number 3, guys, is the money and finance training course. This is lifetime access to over 3 hours of grant content. You're going to be receiving this in your welcome email as well. You're going to have your username and password allocated to go ahead and get into your training portal in order to watch the money and finance course. But if you do have any questions about how to get there, how the course works, or anything related to this, go ahead and email us as well at chat@grantcardone.com. Now, key part number 4, very exciting. With this incredible offer, you guys are going to get exclusive access to our 7-figure accelerator calls leading up to the event. These calls are going to be held every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The purpose of these calls is not only to prepare you for the event, but also to provide you guys with the value, knowledge, and insight to help you achieve all your guys' business goals. The calls will be held on June 10th, 17th, and 24th of this month. And it's an amazing opportunity to go ahead and prepare with what you guys are actually looking for. The links to the calls will be sent out the same day via email and through our Telegram chat that's associated with your guys' program. So keep in mind that the links change every single week. And if you have any questions about the calls, your links, you can always reach out to our team as well. Guys, also please note that they are not recorded and you guys should attend these live. So if you have any questions regarding the timing of the calls, you can either call our office or again, you guys can email us. But you guys have a whole entire week to plan for these calls. So go ahead and make sure that you have Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the next 3 weeks marked down on your guys' calendar. Now, we have created a private networking group for all of you. So before we deep dive into this, guys, please make sure that you guys all have the Telegram app downloaded. The link to join the group is in your welcome email, and our team will send it out again in the onboarding summary. However, we've created this chat for you guys to network so you guys get to know each other, introduce yourself. This is exactly where we'll be sending out the links and more information about the event and exclusive contact for you guys as well. So very, very important that you guys join this networking chat as of now. If there's one thing that you do today, make sure that you join this chat. Okay. However, let's go over some ground rules for the Telegram as we want to ensure that everyone does have a positive experience using this group. So the following rules do apply. Do not spam, promote, have a negative attitude, share external links, or create external groups within the chat. However, as we created this for you guys, we do want you to network and connect, add value to the group, and participate and share your insights. If any of these rules are violated, you will be removed from the chat, but this chat does give you a direct line of communication with the 10X team. However, you can also connect with us via email or by calling our office. Now, you guys, with your guys' $297 offer, you do receive a 10X toolbox and a store credit. So as a special bonus, Grant has offered you guys this toolbox and this gift card to the Grant Cardone store. In your welcome email, you'll find the link to claim your toolbox, and this will also be sent out again in the onboarding summary. This is definitely one of the best decisions you guys have made. Your 10X toolbox is going to include a lot of cool things like Grant mentioned, like the Millionaire booklet, and you guys do have that $297 store credit, so you can use for absolutely anything that you guys want. So that does go ahead and bring us to the 100% risk-free. If you are not fully satisfied with the event, we will give you a 100% refund. Guys, this is a stupid if you don't offer. We're giving you the chance to experience everything that this program offers, and if you're not happy with it, you're still going to get your money back. So go ahead and do invest into it. It is $297. Like I said, this is definitely one of the best decisions you guys have made for your life and for your business. And as long as you're committed and put in the work, you're going to be able to take your life to 10X levels. So that is all from me and from the onboarding session, guys. So thank you for joining us today. I am going to open it up for Q&A right now about the offer as we covered. And please remember to focus your guys' questions on the program itself. If you have any business, financial related questions, the Tuesday calls are going to be the best place for you guys to ask those. Also, some